Hey, what's up? It's been a while. We got some stuff to talk about. Let me turn my music down. We got some stuff to talk about. What's up, Nye? Hey, guys, come on in. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited, too. Yes, come in. So, here's the thing, guys. I have no glasses. I don't know what happened to any of my glasses. None of my readers, I can't find them. And then I finally found some readers and I lost those. And then I found another pair that was actually broken. The handle was broke, but they were still functional. And I lost those. So, actually I didn't lose it. I just broke them even worse. Naisha, I forgot to send you a bookmark. I forgot to give you send a bookmark with your package. So listen, we're going to SiteWeb to read real-time performance and tips. Okay, listen. All right, we're going to get started. People will come. That's one thing about doing a mass following. You get considered a bot and you don't get to the FYP pages and things like that anymore. And you don't get in the rotation anymore because they think you're a bot. But anyway, we're about to get into it. So first off, okay, let me go ahead and put this out there. I have pulled back from doing the lives and usually, as I tell you guys, I only come on if I have something to say anyway. I don't believe in coming on a platform and wasting nobody's time with nonsense. That's just not who I am. So you guys been following me and I've been going through this whole thing, this whole transformation. It started in 2023 and in 2025, I finally made it to phase 4 in my life because the first 3 stages, what I talk about in the book that I created, Trinity Walk to Self-Love, it teaches you how to balance yourself, heal yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically. So then you can operate in 4D, which is your purpose, right? So now I am she. I have become her. And it's so amazing when it's different when other people can see where you're going. It's different. But when this is called growth. This is called healing. This is called you love yourself. You understand who you are. You're operating in your purpose. You know who you are. You stand in your power and your purpose, right? When you can identify and you can see it. So when I would sit back, I'm like, I am finally her. So now that everything that happens in my life, I'm really putting the brakes on things. Like, no, I worked really hard to get where I am. No, I'm finally her. Here is something that I'm going to share with you about being finally her or being finally him. Those spiritual attacks that you used to get before, where they're going to be really mild. And I talk about that in that part series. And I'm sorry, you guys, that it's out of order. I don't know what's going on TikTok, and I really didn't care. I just needed to get the message out there. So you guys go onto my page and look at it in order, okay? But when you start operating your purpose, you realize the attacks you were going through in your life were mild compared to what's about to happen to you. And I'm not going to call them attacks. What it is now is you being in that Jesus moment, right? In that Jesus moment. I didn't say you Jesus. I said in that Jesus moment of being able to allow somebody to come up to you, say something crazy, stab you in the back seat, all things because in this time you have the spirit of discernment. And now you can see everything. You can see it before it happened. You're going to get the dreams about it. It's going to be seen. You're going to be very prophetic. Things are going to happen. Everything is going to be prophetic. Everything that you do. And you're not crazy, okay? So it's going to blow your mind because now in this season, you're not going to be so quick to say, oh, girl, let me tell you let me tell you what happened to me. I had a dream and it happened. You're not going to do that anymore. What you're going to do is protect the what's inside of you, right? I'm going to read these in a second. I told you I don't have my readers, but you're going to protect the what's inside of you that you're supposed to have been doing all along. See, the kingdom of God is within you and the Holy Spirit. You're supposed to have been protecting that thing, but because you wasn't healed, you didn't understand how that worked anyway. So now you're going to protect every gift that you have because what the enemy is doing is going to bring them in friends, family, whatever. He's going to bring them to you because he needs to understand. He has to unlock you now. Now he can't find you. He can't understand you. You're a jigsaw puzzle to him. He don't know who you are and he needs to figure these things out, right? So you have to protect you. So you're not going to be so quick to speak. You're not going to be so quick. And then sometimes I'm going to get to what happened to me last night because it got a little tough. But what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing people and things for who they are, right? And you're going to hone in on that. And you're going to, it's going to blow your mind. But then again, it's like, okay, why not? Why you can't be the modern day prophet? Why you can't be the new Elijah? Why you can't be the new Moses? Why you can't, right? So anyway, so what happened to me, I said all that to lead it up to here. So now that I operate in my purpose now, I don't work for anything. And I keep telling you guys, you don't work for anything. When you operate in your purpose, you don't work for anything or anybody. Do you understand me? You don't work for anything or anybody. And what I'm meaning is being. You are about your Father's business, so it's time for you to operate in your purpose. So with that, last night I was just working on my book, which I'm working on another book. I'm working on 2 books, but this is the one right here. Oh, Lord. This is not the picture I'm going to use. I still, gosh, you guys, I've got to schedule my photo shoot for my book. But anyway, it's called Self-Awareness, and it's a workbook, and it's going to teach you how to become self-aware in your discovery phases of life. And it's kind of going to piggyback off of this. But with this one, you're going to it's activities that I'm creating so you can work on yourself. So I've been working on that. That's what I've been focusing on, right? And it just hit me. Everything hit me all at once. It was so overwhelming because I never been hit like this before, right? I never been hit in this type of way before. So I didn't even know. I don't even smoke, but I'm like, yo, do I need to smoke? Do I need to take a drink? I don't smoke. I don't. But because it was that heavy, right? And that quickly, the enemy was trying to push me out of my purpose, push me out of what I've been doing. Therefore, if I can just do something that I don't do, get out of alignment of what I'm doing, then he can get my attention again, because it was so heavy and it had nothing to do with me. It had zero to do with me, like zero. It had everything to do with being shown what's about to happen to the people that came up against me, right? And this is not one of them things, oh, she on shrooms and all this, that, and the third. No, this is not one of those things that I just imagined. This is not anything. It was so heavy. So when I said in the videos, I didn't cry, I wept. And weeping and crying is 2 different things. Weeping is of sorrow, meaning like I cry so hard, like you're crying, but you can't put words to it. You can't speak to it. You just know that it's something, that what's in your heart, that your heart is broken from. You just weep. And those are the tears that God hears. See, he don't hear you crying when we cry and we just like, God, why me? Why me? I mean, he see you, he acknowledge you, but it's about you in that moment. See, when you crying and doing that, it's about you in that moment, meaning that, why me? Me. But when you weep, it has nothing to do with you at all. Know the difference. I can weep for you. I can weep for the nation. I can weep for the country, because we're in sorrow, showing that, God, what can I do, right? And so when I wept for these people, everyone that he showed me and the different things that he showed me, I promise you, I wanted to reach out to everybody, like, listen, but that's not my job. My job is to stand right here. Stand right here. It's not a prayer that I can do to save them or anybody. And it's not just about me. I'm just explaining some things to you. It's not a prayer or anything that I can do to anybody because they made their bed and this is the bed that they have to lay in. See, when you come up against people, it doesn't matter if you've chosen or not. When you come up against people, because you have to treat people right. You can't go around lying on people. You can't go around tearing people down. You can't go around making up your own conclusions because this is what you think. You can't go around playing games. You can't go around doing this. It has nothing to do with just because they're chosen. You have a lot of people that say, oh, when you're dealing with a chosen one, God don't play about a chosen. He don't play about nobody. Do you understand? Nobody. Nobody. And I'm not talking about the God of, that y'all just sit, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. No. I'm talking about the supreme God, the one that's not of this world. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, when you're dealing with things, I had to learn in my healing to don't care. And so it was some humiliating moments in my life. It was some some frustrated moments in my life. It was some embarrassing moments in my life. It was some shame in my life. Peace and blessings, baby. It was some shame in my life. It was things that I went through that, people did me some kind of way, and I still maintained who I was. Because the whole point of that, it was a learning experience in that, yeah, I would go home and listen. I would cry. I didn't weep. I would cry because, thank you for the follow. I would cry because I'm like, God, remember, when you crying, it's about you, right? And I'm crying saying, God, why people keep doing me like this? Why is this? Why? See, the old folks back then, they said, don't ever question God and ask him why. Well, I'm telling you why that shouldn't be. Whatever reason they had for it, they had a reason of because you're not supposed to. Well, I'm going to give you a reason of why you shouldn't go to God and say why. Because you're making it about you, and nothing is about you. Everything is about him, and he gets the glory from it. Meaning that the moment you stop with the woe me and why me and start looking at it's not happening, to me, it's happening for me, it's happening through me. It's not about you. It's not about what you're going through. It's about what's about to happen. The lesson that needs to be learned from you are the person that you are teaching this lesson to. So that's what the woe it's me. Stop it. We're not doing it no more. So listen, you guys, come on in, like, share, follow. Let's get this message out here because I got a lot to say. We're not about to pond today because I got to get a mic. My mic, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not working, but it's so pretty out there, and we're going to get out there eventually. So let's get back on topic. Now, so the weeping, it started, and I just cried, and I was a sorrow. Like, I had no words. I was hurting for others because that's who I am. It's not about folks when they say that's because you're chosen. It ain't about that. What it means is that you carry the spirit of God. You carry the spirit of love. See, when I tell you guys to Chapo, what's up? When I tell you guys, Naisha, I already spoke to you, and anybody else from my day ones, if I haven't seen y'all, I'm gonna get to you in a second. But thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for life. Thank you, Sean, for joining. Thank y'all so much. Listen. So, as I was weeping, my heart was heavy for the people that wronged me. When I thought about, the thing about healing is God will show you. See, everything that didn't bother you then, you like, man, I don't even care, whatever. I don't stress over that. I don't even care. That was me. But it was when I was healing, when God took me and made me revisit each situation that somebody put me in. Then sometimes I got mad and I'm like, yo, how did I let this dude with a 12-year-old chest play me like that? You know what I mean? How did I let this person that stayed with his mama talk to me like that? How did I let this person that can't even pay my mortgage talk crazy to me? Do you understand? It's things like that I would get mad, but then I realized, no, I wasn't mad. I was hurting. It was up, chop, chop. I was hurting. And I had to learn how to identify the right words with the right emotion. And that's the chapter that I'm writing in right now in my book of teaching you how to do that. So I had to learn those things. So it wasn't easy. It was not easy. So when I look at all my pictures, from 23 on back, all I see is pain. What people see is, oh man, she doing it. She looking good. Oh, she fine. Or she this. No. What I see is pain. It hurted so bad. I seen the pain that I hid behind the makeup, behind the dressing it all up. I was in pain. I get emotional now because that's that weeping side, because my heart get heavy for who I was. See, I'm not her anymore. I'm finally the chick. I'm finally in my leadership position. I'm finally in the space where I was supposed to be. I'm finally sitting on the throne that was always given to me to have. The throne was always there. I just never seen myself as good enough to sit in it. Oh, but baby. Do you understand? So now that I am her, when I look back on who I was, I don't have to pray for her. I don't have to go back and heal her because I had to heal to get here. I just weep. And it's not mainly for her. It's everyone that came up against her. That's what they mean when they say allow God to fight your battles. Because everyone that came up against me, you gonna have to pay. Not in the way of I'm looking for your downfall. Not in the way of, I'm throwing a curse or this, that. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying and acknowledging is, you all say it, karma. But do you believe it? Do you understand? It's not karma. It's allowing God. I had to get out his way. How can God correct someone, corrective action with them, correct them, if I'm the anointed one or the blessed one is still attached to him? Then that means he has to hurt me. I'm his baby girl. Why would he hurt me? So as long as you're attached to these things, even in conversation, what's up, buddy?
Can I get the PS5?
Yeah, go ahead. As long as they're attached to me, or I'm attached to them, that song, everything attached to me when? As long as they are ciphering any of my power, any of my energy, even if it's by conversation or me saying hi. Some people I have not stopped talking to because of the fact I dread to what's to come. But last night was the weeping of the purge of the I had to let it go. Because it ain't about me. See, just like I had to learn a lesson, you got to learn a lesson too. So moving forward, what I'm saying to you guys, listen. Heal. Heal. It's a different type of thing when you heal. Listen, I ended the year on some crazy stuff. I vowed to not come into this year, with mess. I vowed to not come into this year of chaos. I vowed to be the best version of me coming into this year. But guess what I brought into this year? See, a lot of y'all don't know. If you go back to my videos, all of a sudden I had the little fat face and I had to gain some weight because I was pregnant. I came and entered into 2025 with baby, with child. However, I'm no longer with child. And, that's why I would sit and cover myself up. And I would sit here with my blanket. And, I would not get on so much. Or I would say, I'm not really feeling good because I wasn't. But I also know that I'm not supposed to let the enemy know what's going on with me either. So I never spoke it. But there were signs. And I was excited in that moment. And then I realized I don't like this at all. I mean, I didn't get rid of the kid. So don't think that I was like, hey, put me on the table, sprout me out. No, that's not what happened. But, I miscarried and it's okay. Because I realized this is not what I want. I will be attached to that person regardless if I'm with him or not, which, I'll be attached to that person. I'll be back in the same boat as I was with, my children. Thank you. With my children. See, that's the thing. A lot of people, they see your glory, they see these things, but they don't understand you're fighting a whole battle. They don't know your story. And that's what I mean by that. Y'all hear me come on here and speak, but y'all don't understand what I went through to get here. That's why I'll put some rap songs out there. I'll do these different things. What's up? I'll attach small pieces of me to a video with little clues of this is all of me. Like, this is all of me. So anyway, I came into the year and then that was not what it was. Now, and I'm cool with that, right? And so I moved forward. I purged that and I had to bounce back because what happened is I'm so tired. I was so tired. I was so drained. I had so much going on that it pulled me away from my alignment. Now, when I tell you guys, and we talked about this, when you're on your path, there will be small bumps in the road to detour you off your path. But you have to know how to get back on your path. So regardless, with child or not with child, I was going to get back on my path because I chose not to go into the new year with that person. It's just happened that I had a little stinkadoodle attached to me. Do you understand? I chose not to go in with this person, but I went in with a piece of him. And that was not supposed to happen. So boom. Now I'm focused and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And in this moment, I'm the most attractive. And it's not about looks. It's just attractive. My aura is attractive. Everything about me right now is attractive. And you know why? Because I'm glowing. I got that Leroy the Last Dragon glow. That glow when you're operating in your purpose and you have fully developed and become that person that you're supposed to be. Yeah, thank you. Be that person that you're supposed to be. You glow. It's nothing you can do about it. You're going to attract all. Now, you've always attracted them, but now you're going to attract all of these different deities and entities. These different things are going to try to find you. And so let me explain what I mean by find. So, okay, I'm right here. And believe it or not, you guys, the enemy is all around me right now. But he can't find me. One, because my light is so bright, it blinds the darkness, right? Darkness run from light. Two, I'm not talking the same. I don't look the same. I don't speak the same. I don't act the same. I don't hear the small little whispers anymore from him. I don't hear the, the callings, that the whistle that he used to give. I'm so above that. So now he's trying to find me and he's sitting in the room with me. That's what I'm saying. You could be sitting in the room with the enemy right now, and this is how you confuse the enemy. You just become who you're supposed to be. You don't worry about him. You don't worry about how is he doing his job. You don't go find the enemy and say, can you stop doing your job? Can you stop hurting me? Can you stop bringing in these same different dudes, same energy and different dudes to hurt me? Can you stop bringing these same women that got the same issues to hurt me? Can you say, is you going to go to the enemy and say that? No, you're not. So what are you crying about it for? They always say if you don't like something, fix it. If somebody is coming from you, for you, confront them. You ain't confronting them. You ain't doing nothing. But I'm going to tell you, that's the best thing you could ever do is not confront him. The next best thing is to allow the enemy to cook. Let him do his job. That is his job. His job is to be that thorn that just keep pricking you. His job is to be all in your business. His job is to, and he does his job well. The problem is you won't do your job. If you stop worrying about him, you can do your job. And I ain't talking about sitting around, running around, talking about these long prayers. I rebuke you. I cast you here. You can do those great, good, and thank you. However, but if you decide to do your job, you ain't got to worry about that. See, me doing my job, he can't find me. He can't bother me. He can't attack me. He can't do any of these things to me. Like, I'm telling you, I've been going through it this week. Like, I've been getting tried left and right. But let me tell you how cute it is. Before you came to attack me, I already seen it in my dream. Let's put it in. Let's go to, hey, Michelle. Let's go to my job. I already had the dream the night prior of this certain person was going to affect something I had going on. All right, cool. The next day, I'm like, okay, I'm having a great day. Let's do it. Boom. Get my email and I'm like, great, thank you. I'm starting to do some things that I need to do. And then boom, I read it and I'm like, yo, you tried it. You tried it. So I had a moment. This was that split decision that I had to make. Am I about to beat her up? And I'm not saying like hands. What I'm saying is, am I about to go in? Am I about to check her because you tried it and you played with me? Or am I going to understand what God was showing me? My prophetic gift. And that was, hey, I told you this was going to happen. Now you need to deal with it the right way. And that was, I called it out. I acknowledged it. And the more she lied, instead of me getting angry, I had a whole understanding of everything that's going on. It's not that she don't like me. That's not the case. It's just that I had to understand that I don't know what she got going on in her household. Everybody right now is going through this whole shift in career and all this stuff. So she may need her job that bad that because I never known her to lie, that she is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that she keep a job. So all I said was, I wish you well. And I left it alone. Because it's not about me. Do you know that probably hurt her to know that I called her out on it. And she knew what she did was wrong. And it bothered her, the fact that she was that low down. And that she had to go that low to do that. But it's okay. So backed out. But I already knew it was going to happen. Do you understand? So in these times, you have to know what it is you're doing. Stop chasing the moon. Stop chasing what everybody's saying. Stop chasing your old belief. Stop going down all these rabbit holes. Get an understanding because I'm telling you, when you start getting into spirituality, you're going to go down a rabbit hole. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but you have to go down the rabbit hole with guardrails, meaning those guardrails, when you when you're doing bowling and you put the guardrails up, see, that's when you got to have the guardrails up, right? When you're going down the rabbit hole. So therefore, you can easily step back out of it. You can't go into a rabbit hole blank-minded with no knowledge of something. Because then you'll go down that rabbit hole and believe any and everything. Do you understand? So in this season, if you want to, if you are operating in your spirituality and stepping away, and you went through the healing and things like that, I don't have to talk to you. And see, that's what they were talking about when they talked about God. He go after the sinners and this, that, and the third. And it's like, why not to save people and he go after the sinners? Well, this is one of the reasons. I don't have to talk to the ones that has already went through the healing and did what they supposed to do and came out on the other side. And they are trying to, and now they're operating in their purpose because they understood the mission and now they're on task, right? It is the ones that are straddling the fence, don't understand, the sitting in the void, that's willing to go down the rabbit hole without the rails up. Those the ones that we got to make sure that, hey, we guide them gently. It's not about going around and say. And one thing about this though, the religion and the spiritual, one thing about it is the religion, they love to judge. They judge you, they judge you, they judge you. These are the traditional religion folks, that stand on their title. They stand on their title strong, like, I'm a prophet, and I'm this, and I'm that. And it's like, okay, cool, you're cute. Great. I'm grateful, and I'm so glad that you're that way. God bless, right? But you too judgmental on telling somebody what they ain't, and you're not them. Do you understand? God can use somebody at the gas station, homeless man at the gas station, a sinner that's cussing all day, or anybody is sitting, it can be high on drugs, and he can use them as a prophet. Oh no. Yes. So move around. But one thing about spiritual folk, the ones that went through the healing, not the ones that look the part, not the ones that go get the Erykah Badu hats and the earrings and the tat up their whole face and everything, and they do all this because that, not those ones that just got the look but don't have the backing. Do you understand? It's the same way with religion folks. You have the Christians, they got the look but they don't have the backing. So it's in the same thing, same sense. I'm talking about the ones that did the healing. In order to become and operate in your purpose and get on any kind of religious, spiritual, whatever, spirituality, whatever it is, you have to do the work. So you can't just wake up and say, you know what, I am all in, and you go in. This is why they had to come up with the term backsliding, because if you don't do the work, you'll go in strong, and then all of a sudden you'll be back to where you were. You'll do a complete 360 instead of a 180. Do you understand? So that's why they had to come up with that term, because they got to call it something, right? So with spirituality, they guide gently the ones that have healed. See, I don't go into places and look at folk and say, you are this, that, and that, and this is and that, and whatever's, right? I don't judge you and tear you down. I have to pay attention. Because in paying attention, first off, you guys, thank you for the likes, thank you for the shares, thank you for the follow. Let's get it out there so we can get more people to join. I guide gently. At first I sit back and I'm going to observe. If I've been told that I am supposed to talk to you, not that you my assignment. I can't stand that them Christian folk, you're my assignment. Shut up. You can't even pass the walking test, meaning one foot after the other, left, right. Who you gonna guide? Shut up talking to me. Don't. Shut up. Don't. Just go to sleep. You don't go to anybody and call them your assignment. That's the worst thing in the world. Well, God said you my assignment. God ain't said no mess like that. God of the material world probably would. But you won't go telling nobody that, hey, I'm you my assignment. Because what you just told that person. So what if I'm already going through depression and I feel like I ain't good enough? I ain't good enough. And now you walk up to me like, hey, God said you're my assignment. And great. Thank you. Now God acknowledged that I ain't a nobody. That I'm that pitiful that I need help. See, everybody's head ain't where it should be. Everybody, you can't use the same words because some people are dealing with mental illness. Some people are dealing with certain things. So if you really spiritual, God wouldn't have had you walk up to that person. If you really the person that you call yourself to be, God is not going to have you to walk up to that person. Now, here I am in the group, right, as a motivational speaker. I choose that I'm not going to curse or anything because, you know, I'm still working on that. And the reason why I'm working on, I'm not big on, listen, let me explain something to you. I'm not big on, I'm going to judge you because you do this, that, and the third. It ain't got nothing to do with what your purpose is. But this is just me. I just choose to cleanse this because I want to be able to talk to everybody well-rounded. Because some people, mentally, they can't take that. It's not about that they holier than thou and they don't want nobody cussing. It's just some people mentally can't take it because they grew up in a household that every day they get cussed out. Every day they got cussed out. So they don't like it. That does not mean that they better than or they look down on it. It's just that what it affects them. See, you have to be a person of understanding to be able to stand in front of people as a leader and speak and teach and mentor and coach. So if you're not none of those things, then you should not be in that position. Please go sit down and stop making up jobs for yourself. You sitting over here making up jobs for yourself. You bored. You're not operating your purpose. You're making up jobs for yourself. So, with that, what I need you guys to understand is that, you know, you have to guide people gently. You have to be the example. You have to. Listen, for 5 years, I've been working from home. I've been working from home. And, you know, I work in Memphis. Listen, it is a different type of thing. It is the most difficultest thing because here's the thing. When I very first got here, I tried to be cool with people, but you know, like, okay. And with my position, it was a higher position. So the thing was, I had some of my own people that were proud of me because of the fact they never seen a black female in that type of position. And then I had some that was just like, you know, waiting, trying to find something to take a dig at me. And I had some that just stare at me. I'm talking about, it was, I was sit like, and instead of me saying, what y'all looking at, this, that, and the third, I would think like, you never know what a person going through. Maybe they trying to figure me out because I'm not normal. As a black female, IT female, in a high position, this is not normal. So maybe they were intimidated to approach me. I don't know, right? So I became, instead of trying to make friends at work, because, you know, I learned lessons throughout my career, what I did was made myself available for people to come talk to. That's what I did. So I was open enough for you to feel comfortable to talk to me. But I was closed off enough and had the boundary of, look, we're not friends, right? They understood I don't do negative, I don't do drama, I don't do mess. So I kept it that way. And listen to this. This is the craziest thing. One thing about Memphis is you know one person, you know 12 people. Period. Everybody think it's big and it's not big. I ain't got my glasses. Okay. I see who you are. Okay. I'll inbox you after this. Okay. So one thing about Memphis is if you know one person, you know 12 people. Period. That's it. That's it. So with that, now I transition, get a promotion, and go to another agency, right? Within the Memphis area. I get there and it's this guy. I mean, this guy talk like a woman. I mean, this man, and he walk real fast, you know. And when I see a man that do a lot of whispering, gossiping, and walking real fast, I draw my own conclusions. You know, just like, okay, that's cute, you know. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the shares. Continue to follow. Continue to share it. And so I'm like, okay, I get there, and he just running his mouth 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm like, all right. Then he connect with someone at the other agency that I don't even deal with. I never dealt with this lady. Ever dealt with this lady. And I told you, this is how the enemy creeps up. He has a conversation with her. He comes back to having a conversation about her. But, yeah. So I sit back because you don't know me. See, what you see me is in a higher position. So when he came to talk to me, he immediately thought that he was in a higher position than I was. He was more on a higher status than I was. But come to find out, since he was digging, he got his feelings hurt, and now he has to find something to make him equal to me. And that what he felt. But no, that's not what happened, sir, ma'am. I don't do gossip. See, you have to get to know me. If you don't really get to know me, you'll draw your own conclusion about me, and then you'll put me in a category that I don't fit in. And when I start moving another way, I'm moving differently. Now you looking at it crazy, like, well, she must be crazy. Was something wrong with her? There ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm the smartest one at the table. Matter of fact, I am the table. I see the table of 12. I am she. You understand? It's your fault for boxing me in. You can't box me in. Boy, I will take your whole car apart just because, and won't put it back together. Like, I'm very intelligent, I'm very smart, but people box me into this one thing, and I'm so much more than that. So with him and her now, how are you going to try and have a conversation with me or try and talk to me, and you want to date me, you want to marry me, you want to do all these things with me, but you gossip like a woman? I'm never going to get past that. I'm not going to mistreat you, but I'm never going to get past that. So people like that, those are the type of people that the enemy send in. The enemy send them in, but the problem, the gig is, they come in with a motive and they leave in love because they get to experience my light of who I am fully all the way around. So that's why when you go to people, stop judging. Don't just go up to folks judging them and thinking this is what it is, because then you find yourself sitting around thinking like, man, she must have did something to me, or this, that, and the third, or, you know, you got all these feelings because you done fell in love with old G. Yeah, that's what happened. Your light, the light that's within you, is attractive. And that's why I say in this season is my most attractive, abundant season. Is nothing anybody can do to me in this season that's going to bring me down. No more your kitchen magic. No more your candle magic. No more your taunts. No more of your game plan. No more of the let me try and get her to chase me. No more, because I'm in a place right now that I'm unfuckwittable. Do you understand? And that's being truthful. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. And it's not that I'm better than, it's just that I have stepped into my power. I have stepped into who I am fully. So a lot of the people that I've dated, I just look at like, ooh, Lord, I was in a low place in my life. And, you know, they're coming out of the woodwork talking about some I miss you. And I'm just thinking like, please don't tell nobody you ever dealt with me. This is embarrassing. What was I thinking? Oh, boy. How did I date you? I mean, bruh, dang. Oh man, I really liked you too. All your teeth in your mouth is crooked and throwing them gang signs. They got the Shamar teeth, before they got fixed. Like, and I loved you. Oh boy, oh boy, you gonna tell people you know me? You definitely about to tell people you know me. You definitely about to put this out in the streets. And I gotta be ready for it. You ain't gonna like what I gotta say because I gotta tell the truth now. I was at a real low point in my life. Thank y'all for the shares. Thank y'all for the likes. That's why I'm saying, you guys. But I don't regret anybody I dated. I don't regret anybody that I hung out with. I don't regret any of these things. And the reason why I don't, because it got me to this place. It got me to this place. There I am now with growth and being able to talk about it and laugh and not feel shame. So was supposed to be in this position a long time ago, but shame kept me from it because I was thinking like, what if they say this and what if they say that, or what if my past get brought up and what if this, well, my past is my past. It's not like I got anything to really hide. My past is, growing up, I was in trouble a lot. I didn't go to school. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I was just doing things like in cars that I shouldn't have been in, houses that I shouldn't have been in. I mean, I was in places I shouldn't have been in. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I mean, I guess I was just checking on their house while they were gone, or checking on their car to make sure it still worked by, taking it around the block and stuff like that. Things like that. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, but then I look at it, why is that an embarrassment? No. That's my story. I was environment and a product of my environment. I was that. I was her. I was Trey 7. I was West Side. I was Gary, Indiana. That's who I was. I was also, on top of that, a good friend. I also took care of people. I was all of these things. And then I joined the military. I didn't get in trouble in the military. Now, I did have an incident. Now, listen to this. And I don't regret it because that's part of my story. So, we were in Iraq. This was our first tour. So, let me explain something to you guys about Iraq. It wasn't like a tour like it is, now if you go, they got housing, quality of life is a whole lot better. This was when boots were first on ground. Boots on ground after they did, Bush said, America, oh, America, and shook his head, and then boom, war on 9/11. But anyway, so boots on ground, we get there. We didn't have a place to stay. We were jumping constantly. We were jumping constantly. We didn't have cots to sleep in. We didn't have a place, an actual place to go. It's wherever we laid our head, that was our home, right? Maybe wherever we laid our Kevlar, that was our home. So what happened is we would drive, and since I was a younger soldier, I didn't understand what we were doing. All I know is that what I seen is it was a bunch of, Iraqi people migrating. And they were so close. Like, this is the vehicle. We're in the vehicle. There's no top. There's no doors. There's no nothing. I got my weapon, my nozzle hanging out the side of the door. And as we're driving back by, our mirrors are bumping the people. It was that crowded. And I'm like, what is happening? Because my whole thing is, we're this close. People, the rules of engagement was not the rules of engagement then. We were first boots on ground. So it was just like they were so close. And all I'm thinking is, they could hit an ID and we all gone. That's how I looked at it. And I'm like, no, whoa. Nervous. Like, man, made sure my seatbelt was on because I don't need nobody snatching me out the car, pulling me in the crowd. Because I know I'm a desirable in this Kevlar right now, in this vest. So we get, finally, the people it ain't that many people when we get, and I see the whole road gone. What y'all do to the road? Like, why is the road gone? Where's the road? Oh, they dropped bombs over here. Oh, okay. How are we supposed to get across? It was that road. It was just enough for us to get by in our Humvees and in the vehicles that we had. It was just enough room, meaning that if you turn left, you going over. You turn right, you're going over. So it was one of them things like, hey, Pay attention. Focus. The gunner at the top, like, dang, we sitting there like, because my driver over here, she... Lynch over there like this on the wheel, right? And so we would get somewhere and we would stay there. You couldn't stay no more than a couple of days. And the reason why you couldn't stay more than a couple of days, I mean like less than 72 hours, because, you know, you never want the enemy to know where you are, right? So that was the thing, right? So we had to constantly leave. And so it wasn't pleasant, but this is what people don't understand. See, there was no toilets. Where you think we went? Well, we had that little shovel. And you battle buddies, so you can't go off into the desert by yourself, because one thing about the desert is you will get lost. Don't let the desert, you think you walking straight and you walking somewhere totally different. This is why a lot of soldiers got lost. But anyway, I get my battle buddy. My battle buddy wasn't a female, because females didn't poop like men did. So guess what? My battle buddy was always a dude. We got to go poop. We had to go poop wherever it is. We had to go away, dig a hole with our backs turned from each other. He's in the back. I'm in the, you know, his back towards me, my back towards him. We ain't touching or nothing. I'm just saying. And we squatting and taking dumps right there. This is the things people don't understand and know. This, they look at like, oh, those soldiers are over there. No, they taking poops in the ground. Where else are you going to go? We didn't have anything. You got 2 bottled waters. 2 bottled waters. 2 tall, 1 liter bottled waters a day. Now, what you going to do with it? You're going to drink it? Or you're going to wash your clothes? You're going to wash up with it? Bathe your teeth with it? What are you going to do? And then if you want to keep it cold, you got to dig a hole, put it in the ground. Yeah. Thank you for the light. You got to do these things, right? So the incident that I had, I was always a good soldier. I didn't do too much of nothing, because I knew where I came from, Gary, Indiana. I'm not going back there. Everybody's counting me out. My mama's saying I ain't gonna make it. Everybody's saying I ain't gonna make it. Everybody doing this. So this is what we did all the way until like August, for like 6 months. From the time we got there, August, we finally got a place that got accepted on a fob, right? But in that between time, frustrations was high. And the only time that I actually had a serious incident, I stabbed a guy in his forehead with a thing. I was cleaning the truck. It was like a broom thing, but it had a sharp edge to it. And I was cleaning the vehicle. And it was so many flies over there. It is so disgusting over there. It's so many flies. But neither here nor there, he spilled picante sauce in my truck. Now I got a truck full of flies. And I said, I'm mad. I'm like, look, and this was one of my favorite dudes, right? My favorite guys. And I'm like, yo, I said it wrong. I called it picante. I don't know what I called it. And he making fun and he just laughing, la 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 la. It's funny as all ha 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 games. And he threw a water bottle in the truck. It was empty, but you know, at this moment, I'm not ready to be played with. I threw the bottle over in the Humvee, and I'm like, okay, you playing. So I took the bottle, and I took it to him. And I said, because this is why I say people see you in this state of your life, but they don't know who you are. Because I wasn't getting in trouble in the Army, and they don't understand, I didn't get in trouble in the military. I was being the best soldier I could be, because I didn't want to go back to my hometown. I did not want to go back to where I came from, because where I came from was hell. I ain't going back. So I didn't get in trouble. But this guy, he took the bottle. I gave it to him. I said, okay, here, I'm giving it to you so you don't miss. Hit me with the bottle. I told you to stop throwing the bottle. Now I'm giving it to you. I'm right here. Don't miss. And like I said, he was one of my best homies, but you triggered a side of me. See, you know me as Knox, and who you about to get is Isha. And he triggered that side of me, and before he hit me in my forehead, tap me in the forehead with it, before he can bring his hands down, and then I just went in. I mean, listen, you can't do this. Let me tell you something. Men, I grew up fighting boys. That was it. That's all I knew. I never fought girls because I felt bad for them. Like, you're a girl. I'm going to beat you up. That's how I felt. But I didn't have none of my brothers. And so with him, it's like, look, dude, we the same size. I'm about to tear you out the frame. And that's what happened. And then when it got me, I just remember shaking real bad. Because all I could think of, it wasn't the fact that I done handed him and gave him the business. It wasn't the fact of that. It was the fact of, I'm about to go home. They're about to send me back to Gary, Indiana. They're about to send me back home. I don't want to go back home. I don't want to go back home. I don't want to. See, that's what I was shaking up, because I don't want to go back there, because so much hurt is back there. I don't want to go back there. It had nothing to do with, oh, I'm about to get in trouble and get Article 15. I'm going to do that. I'm thinking I'm about to have to go back home. See, that's what kept me on the straight and narrow during my military career. See, all that, what he was talking about, calling me a black bee and all that, because, you know, he's white. It finally showed up, right? When they get mad, they'll call you out. I mean, a black bee, that didn't bother me. I couldn't find certain things, my dog tags, stuff like that, because he burned them and things like that. You know, he was mad. He was upset. So I had to sleep with my weapon really, really close, because of the fact now, what he don't understand is he triggered the PTSD in me from Gary, Indiana. He did not understand who I really am. All he knew me of is Knox in the military. In the military, that Knox is all about work. She don't want to get in trouble. But no, there's another side to me. There's a whole hood ninja in me that you don't want no smoke with, right? That's who I was. So I'm sleeping with my weapon really close. And I didn't sleep. See, the thing with him is he grew up. I don't know how he grew up, but at the end of the day, I grew up that I don't have to get no sleep. I don't have to get no sleep. I'm always watch my back. And that's what I did for the next couple of days. So those were the things that molded me. It was not, that's why I say, you see my glory, but you do not know my story. You do not know where I came from. And what he did triggered something in me to make me bring out the who I was in that moment. And in that situation, it could have got a whole lot worse, because I'm in survival mode now. That's how I lived my life back at home in my younger days, in survival mode. So those were the type things that I went through and I had to grow from. I didn't know that transition from, you know, being in the military to transition you to being a soldier. But I was a kid. And when I got transferred to being a soldier, when I got out of the military, who is this woman? I don't know her. They call me by my first name. Naisha. Miss Naisha. I'm like, I'm a kid. I'm 30-something years old, but at the same 31 years old. And I'm like, 31 of them. And I'm like, what do you mean? No, I think I was like 28 when I got out or something like that. But I'm like, what do you mean? Miss, I'm still a kid. I'm not a kid. It hadn't even registered to me that I am an adult. I am a grown woman, because I went from being a kid to a soldier, and now I'm back in the civilian life. What do I know? I only know up to being 19 years old of what an adult is. I never got to experience it, because in the military, you still ain't an adult. I never got to experience it. So I don't know what being an adult or a woman is. What do I do? I started looking the part. But mentally, I wasn't there. Mentally, when it comes to my work ethic, I am there. I am on it. I got this. I can handle some business. I can take care of some stuff. I can take care of everything. But take that aside and just be me. Just be me. Who am I? I didn't even know who I was. So if I don't know who I was, how am I supposed to look? I don't know what I'm supposed to look like. I know what my heart is. I got a soft heart. But I'm trying to balance out, because all I know is Isha, and I know Sergeant Laurie. I know Isha, and I know Staff Sergeant Laurie. I know Isha, and I know Sergeant Knox. You know, this is all me. I know those two people, but who is Naisha? Who is Naisha? What is Naisha even supposed to look like? So let me tell you. That journey up to my healing part. See, I got out in 2010. It is let's fast forward to 2023. I am dealing with things. See, I look, The way I seen life was different from the way people seen life. See, people seen life from a place of a struggle, meaning that they grew up in this. They've been in this. They never left this. This is who they are. This become their culture. See, I grew up in it, left, and then got thrown back in it, and I'm trying to figure out, did time stop? I'm serious. Did time stop? Y'all still on that? And it's not that. It's just that I got to see something else. I got to see different cultures. I got to see different things. So my adulting was totally different from the civilians adulting. So it took me a long time to readjust, because when I got out, I stayed around a military installation. So we were all like-minded. Crazy, just oblivious, just sitting there thinking that this is all life is. I only use that word because anyway, I ain't even about to say it. There's a lot of people think that I'm naive, and a lot of people that's supposed to be my friends say things, and they're different. But anyway, so when I left there, oh God, the first place out of all these years since I was 19 years old, the first place I go to, what's up? The first place that I choose to go to in 2018, that's all civilian, nothing but civilian, is Memphis, Tennessee. Boy, if you don't get up out of here, let me tell you something. I got here and was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move back. Because I don't. What is this? What are they doing? What is happening? I didn't understand. I said, did time stop? Y'all still stealing cars? Huh? Yeah? Y'all still doing drive-bys on the highway? Oh, yeah? Hey. Oh, okay. Yeah, this ain't me. But I had to realize that it is just like Gary, Indiana was. Just like Gary, because I kept saying, it's like, it reminded me of home. But that was back in the 90s. And I realized it's not that time stopped. It's just that time did stop for me. See, the world stopped for me, and I started living in my own world, doing my own things, finding new cultures. See, I was disconnected from the civilian world, right? I was disconnected from the civilian world and totally tapped into my world, which was the military world, that world. And once I plugged back into the civilian world, it was like, okay, now going back to when I was 19, life started. Like that whole gap from 19 to 38 years old was gone. Like gone. Like it was a blank. It's like waking up from a coma, from being in a coma from 19 and waking up, in 2001 and then waking up in 2018. That's how it felt. Because now I'm back in the civilian world and I plug back in and I'm like, yo, what is this? What is happening? I don't understand. For the life of me, I couldn't understand. Let me tell you something. I just disconnected myself. I said, you know what? Give me my plug back. I don't want to plug into y'all. What is it? MLGW. I don't want to plug into you because y'all stuff don't work half time. No way. But I'm unplugging. I'm getting up out of here, right? And I gone about my business, and what it caused me to do is sit and disconnect from the world, and then I isolated myself, and I was okay with that. Like, I didn't want to drive on y'all highways, because when I got on the highway, this is when I knew then that this was a different type of place. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this right. I ain't got no glasses. I knew something was wrong. When I drove, I'm driving on the highway and I'm doing the speed limit because I'm like, you know what? I got this. And that joker came onto the highway. Now I'm in the slowest lane possible. Doing 100 miles. Ain't look left, right, or nothing. Just came straight off the ramp. Slanted on across all the way to the fast lane, the HOV lane. Nobody blew their horn. Nobody said nothing. Everybody just kept traffic moving. I said, oh, yeah. I lost them all. I lost all of them. I don't know. You know what? I think the devil just trying to. I think he come in and take my glass because if I can't see, then he just. All my little reading glasses just, yep, but guess what? He ain't stopped me. I'm still going. Listen, I said something wrong, but then I found out later the reason why they didn't blow because it's a no blow state or something like that, city or something. Because if you blow your horn, you're going to get shot. I was like, oh no. But thank y'all. But so what I had to learn is that this is their culture. You know what I mean? And it ain't no different from my culture. It's just that I have been disconnected since 19, and now here it is. What up? What's up, Rick? But listen, and I had to disconnect. I had to catch myself from saying your name. And I had disconnected from when I was 19, 2001, when I joined the military. And, you know, then I plugged back in 2018 when I left the whole military installation and came into the civilian sector. That this is still what's going on. This is real life. I have been living in a simulator pretty much my entire adulthood. Now I'm back to real life. So what it caused me to do is just sit in the house. I didn't want to deal with nobody. I didn't go out. I didn't do anything. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't do anything because of the fact they were weird to me. I never met people that was just, hey, let me talk to you just to gossip. Hey, let me talk to you just to be nosy. I mean, the mess, the amount of messiness. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want no parts of that, because where they see me at is where they see me at in this space. But they don't understand. I stay in this space because I have a lot to lose. Because you poking the bear from a place of a protection mode. The one that I know. I told you I only knew two sides of me at that time. So my reaction is, and I can't react that way anymore because I can get in trouble, right? And I got a lot to lose. So now in this moment, I have to disconnect, because if you poke me one more time, I'm going to react. And my reaction is, you ain't gonna like it. You probably gonna go get all your kinfolks and try and beat me up and things like that, right? So, yeah. So I had to learn how to navigate this. I had to learn how to socialize. I had to learn how to, everybody ain't your friend. And you know me, I don't have I didn't have a gray area when it came to conversation. I'm just a real person. You know what I mean? I keep it a buck. So if I talk to you about something, it's not like I'm telling you my business. It's not that I don't have business, because trust me, you didn't get all my business. You just got what I wanted to share, because I shared. I'm not one of those ones that pretend. Like, I'm not fake. I'm not fake at all. If you ask me something, I'm going to tell you. You know what I mean? If I got something, I'm going to tell you how I got it. I'm not going to keep it from you. If I went and got me a Bentley, I'm going to tell you how I got a Bentley. If I went and got this free whatever it is, I'm going to tell you. And I had a neighbor would tell me, like, I'm going to tell you what I put in my grass, but don't tell nobody. Shut up. I don't even want to know. Like, you stupid. Because I'm a lawn girl too. So now I didn't use her technique, because her technique I knew was going to damage her grass in the long run. However, I knew that right now it looked good, but it's going to damage it in the long run. So I went my route that I knew, and my grass was so pretty. It was better than everybody's grass, right? It was green. Now she's over here talking about, well, what you doing in your grass? And my grass ate up. It wasn't my business to tell her, well, you put that stupid stuff in your yard. And that's not my job. What I did tell her, though, is what I used. And then I got out there with her husband. Now, that's the thing, you know, and explained to him what I put in my grass. And then when she would plant her flowers, I would go over there and help her plant her flowers. See, they never met a friend like me. That's who I am. But for her, she was so stuck on, is it a catch-22? No, it's not a catch-22. It's just who I am. Just, dang. I don't need you to help me with my stuff, because my stuff cute. So that's what I'm trying to say. It was just different. I had to learn how to put myself back into society and socialize. And listen, it was tough. But now I'm finally there. And so, like I said, with things with us having to go back to the office, right? That was the craziest thing to me. I'm like I told you, my office in Memphis, they actually fight inside this building. Excuse me. They fight in this building like they take guns in the building. This is the craziest thing to me. Like, so listen, the officers walk so many people out this building because they have weapons. What y'all coming to the office with guns for? Whatever, I'm here for it. Let's go. So that's the thing. I'm like, I do not want to go back in it. But you know what? Since I've been back in that office, I enjoy it. I love it because these my type of people. I'm like, God, you want me to come in here? It's no way I could come in here as Coach Now. I got to come in here as Isha because I need to know what's going on. Right? And so I gotten to meet different people and I just fell in love with these folks. And, hey, get a little piece of the messiness too. Like, you know what? It is funny. So let's do it, right? So I enjoyed that. I really, really do enjoy that. But I also decided to completely come out of the workforce. Now, this is something that I've been planning on doing since 2023. And I was planning on 2024 being my last year. But then it was something about, me like, well, no. If you still on, of course I didn't. He's like, oh, no, don't give up that free money. You just do you and you keep on coming. And I stayed. I knew it. God had already shown me in 2022, 2023 that it was time for me to go. I thought when I got married in 2022, I thought that was going to be my year because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be down this way. We're just going to move and I'm just done working, But no, it wasn't. When God tell you what's next, the thing is, don't just jump up and act. Don't. I've done that so many times in my life and God allowed it to work out for me because those are the desires of my heart. The problem is because I stayed in alignment with what it is that he needed me to do, he gave me the desires of my heart. So if I couldn't get it, that means that it wasn't meant for me to have. So he had already told me that I was leaving. I knew I was leaving. I knew that I was about to walk away from the workforce. I knew it, but I just didn't know when. And I was going to prematurely pull the plug. And what I mean by prematurely, I was still healing. I had not become who I am today. I have not become her yet. I hadn't become her yet. So if I would have did that before I became her, I would have been in a place of worrying and stress and anxiety. I still would have ended up where I needed to be because it's my destiny, it's my birthright, it's my inheritance. I would have got it anyway. It's just that I would have been struggling with the God, I don't see it yet. So if it's not supposed to happen until 2025 and I pulled the trigger back in 2021, 2022, can you imagine the stress level I would have had leaning on a promise of, okay, God, you said that this was for me, and he did. But that wasn't the timing. You know, understand? So you have to know when to move when he tell you to move. And I finally decided to do it and just focus completely on the fitness business and life coaching. And you know what? I'm excited because I'm able to work on my book and I'm able to do a lot of things. So I was trying to sell one piece of my gym equipment because I can't fit it in the I can't fit it inside the third car garage where I got all the other gym equipment. But I realized my sunroom is double the size of a normal sunroom. I made it that way. It is super huge. And that's the one I was working on floors in. And that one multi-gym piece, that's where that's going. Right there in the middle of that. So we're about to have some serious training going on over here. And that's why what we spoke about, with the whole pregnancy thing, that was another thing. Like now my workout had to be so in depth because the extra weight I had put on, the little things that is different. I got to tone that up because I got to be fine. God showed me that he about to bring in a husband for me. Listen. So regardless of how it go, whatever God have for me, the man that God have for me, he's going to love me whether I'm fluffy or unfluffy. It doesn't matter. But I'm not too much worrying about it. And right now in this season, this is, like I said, this is my most attractive season that I'm in right now. I am just glowing because I'm in my purpose. I'm in my purpose. So I can't help but attract. I can't help but attract. So, and it's not so much attracting relationships in, between intimate relationship. It's just relationships, period, with people, meeting new people. Listen, he's been bringing me, as most people call it, a tribe family. He's been bringing me some people, and I'm just so love it. And here we have we're doing a kind of like a waiting to exhale type of thing on women, transition of women, women transitioning or something like that. We're going to have that. I just collaborated with someone. We're still working on a name, so I collaborated with her. We're going to do that. And I'm going to be doing life coaching and a spiritual piece. And God brought me this little girl. I call her little girl, but this is my little sister. She's actually a prophetess Ty, and Prophet Ty. I'm trying to make sure I say it right, because sometimes they come off as anyway, it comes out, I be saying it, it come when I say it, it kind of, my accent make it sound crazy, so that's why I had to keep repeating it. Anyway, hey girl, if y'all don't know Latrice, y'all go ahead, click on her page, find her music, and download it. Like, listen, you and Naisha Nicole and Chapo, y'all been my number ones. I got Pop Hood, I got A-Town, I got Picasso, and I got, I just spoke him up and he popped in. He popped in, and I got Sean, and I got Vaughn, and it's one more, right? They've been my number ones. Yes. I was just giving you a props, Pop Hood. Hey, tomorrow, Pop Hood, I'm going live early. I'm going to work on my lawnmower, right? So, we about to flip it on its back. And I got to put a new pulley on there and retighten it up. But I got to go get another tool because the one that I got fit for the other one. But I don't even know if this pulley is going to fit. But yeah, so y'all get to watch me. Y'all get to talk with me and watch me and go step by step while I do some mechanical stuff. I told y'all I'm well rounded. I can get some stuff done. So yeah, so I got a lot of things going on with the books, and the teaching, and also I got to do the I'm working on a podcast still, because I need to put this content out. I just have to I got to put myself on a schedule. I have to do my own battle rhythm of what I need to do daily. I'm going to have to schedule my whole life so I can make sure I get the things that I need to get done and put this information out. So, and like I said, I come live when I feel it's needed to come live. Thank you for the likes, shares, and follows. But something else that I wanted to talk about today. Oh, Chapo, you still there? Let me see if he's still there. No, I don't think he's there. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, and now you should be going down the rabbit hole. Naisha Nicole, where you at? She been going down a rabbit hole, and it'd be so funny because she is, for me, when I see people learning and then their curiosity and they get so excited to learn new things and they see things and I see them going and doing the research, I love it. 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 And the reason why I love it is because of the fact you're no longer in the mindset of listening to what other people say. You're in the mindset of getting to know it for yourself, because that's when it becomes personal. So a while, years ago, see, and that's the thing so I didn't even tell y'all the whole story. So I did tell y'all about the whole pregnancy thing. But I didn't tell y'all that after I had my son in 2012, I tied my tubes. So what's meant to be will always be. You understand? So yeah. But anyway, let's talk about this, because I find Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I got it. Hold on. I do. I got it. All right. Y'all see that? Now, let me explain something to y'all. As always, we're about to talk about this. We're about to talk about it. So, if you guys want to understand this whole talks about the Sophia of Jesus Christ, y'all can, this is a good little balanced book for y'all. For y'all to kind of like get an idea of what it is. However, as I always teach, you know, when I teach different things that in my teaching, the reason why I always tell you, you have to get to know God for yourself. You have to be strong in whatever faith it is that you're going to be in, because when you start going down the rabbit hole, you will go down that hole and get lost. You got to put your guardrails up. And with those guardrails, meaning that everything that you learn, it should bump against you, but should not be embedded in you to stay. Meaning that know what to take and know what not to take. And if you're confused about that, do more research on it. All right. All right. So let's talk about it. So, you know, we always touch bases on it, on that. So, it's so much to talk about. You just got to take pieces of it and see where it fits into your life. Yep. Hold on. So you have, people call it differently. They call it the Sophia of Jesus Christ, which is the wisdom, which is supposed to be the let's just put her there right now, because like I said, there's so many pieces. So you got Sophia of Jesus Christ. Sophia means wisdom. Then you got the Gnostic. Hold on. I told you I ain't got my glasses. The Eunostus, the Blessed, which is another, supposed to be like a spin-off of the Sophia of Jesus Christ. Now, the Sophia of Jesus Christ, it's supposed to have started. Her story begins after Jesus had ascended. Look at this, and we're talking about this right before resurrection, right? So it talks about when he was up on the mountaintop with the 12, and he was teaching them and he was talking to them. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm here. Okay. And it's supposed to have started in that moment when he showed up to the 12 and they were able to ask some questions. Now, if you want to know what kind of questions they asked, and you have to go into the Gospel of Thomas. The Gospel of Thomas is in the Gnostic Bibles, pretty much the lost Bibles, right? You have to go in there, and then it breaks down. The Gospel of Thomas tell you the type of questions that they were asking, who was asking them. Mary Magdalene asked some questions as well. And so that's why I say you have to explain this in pieces, because even with the, what is his name? Unc 607, Unc 77. Anyway, you get a lot of people that come on here and they explain her, but they explain her in the version of what they know her to be, meaning that it's so many different versions of her. It's whatever they believe the version of her is, and that's what they teach people. But if you get to know all the versions of her, they all have something similar. And that something similar is that she was the feminine energy. She was the wisdom. And she did create. Now, but then when it comes to the creation, it talks about her creating all these different things. Like she created this, or she was the serpent that was in the serpent that got Eve to eat the apple, or she was the one that created Satan, and and different things like that. Demarge. Yeah, I gotta. It's just, them names is crazy. Demarge and Yabadov. They're the same person. They're the same person. So with that, one of the studies that I read, and I taught that to you guys, that she created him and she created the whole earth. She was so enamored how God created the earth and how he did these things, and she had the same equal power as he did. And so she created her own because she was just so amazed that he did it. She created it, and then she created a half God. Meaning, because nobody can replicate God, right? Nobody can replicate that. So even God, okay, let's talk about it. So God is God, right? And when we describe him to the best of our knowledge of what our mind will process to, of what our mind can only process, because he is so much more than that. I'm trying to turn this down some. He is so much more than that. And because he is so much more than that, we can't process our mind. We can't even imagine. We don't know, right? So what happened is he's called the indescribable God because he can't be described. He has not been birthed. He is the unbegotten. Like there was nothing that birthed him. Like the image of him, he looked like himself. You know what I mean? The way he moved like himself. The way he speaks like himself. Is nothing that you can compare him to. So let's give you the way that you can look at it. If you take a mirror right now, the only thing, even with him, because of everything, is just his power. So let's go back there. He looked like himself. He talked like himself. Everything about him is like himself except for the power. He only has the power. And it makes people confused when they start researching that, and then they start thinking like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? Everybody got to have a man and a woman. No, he's the unbegotten, And so what it means is if you take a mirror and you look at yourself in the mirror, you look just like that person in the mirror. Your mouth is going to move just like that person in the mirror. You're going to sound just like that person in the mirror. Everything about that person in the mirror. But in that image of you and that person in the mirror, only one of y'all have power. Meaning the person that's holding the mirror, you are the source. That's what it's saying. You know what I mean? When you describe God, it's just that way. It's only him. Like it's just him. So when they talk about the creation of everything, so when they talk about Sophia of wisdom, what it is she created a whole world. She created this world. And I'm going to give you two versions, because I'm going to give you the one that Ankh talks about, and I'm going to give you the one that she talks about. Another scholar talks about. So it talks about she created, and she realized that because she did not create it with God, his power, because I told you his power is the one that make everything move around. She did not create it with his power. She created, and it became half. It became disruptive. It was ill intent. God was angry, cast her away. But what she's seeing when she created her son, which is Yabadoth, she created him and he was not a good seed. She created him and he was of evil. She created him and she created this world, but she had to get rid of this world. And so she cast it out. And when she cast it out, she cast it and hid it behind the clouds. And then she put a chain around and put a thorn in the middle, and boom, nobody can get to it. That's one scholar. That's one Gnostic teaching. Now another one, the one that Ankh talk about, is she created it and it was cast out. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Hey, you guys. Jalen, let the dogs out. Thank you, buddy. And so she created this earth, and yes, this earth. She created this earth, and it was half. It was by half man. I wanted y'all to let the dogs out. Okay. And so this was casted out. That's why this is considered the material world, because Yabadoth, he is so stuck on himself of, this is my world. There's no God that's higher than me. There's no God that's better than me. There's no anything. I am that God. I am that being, but he is not supreme. He is half, right? And so this is what he's saying. he became the God of this. No one can escape this realm because he put them here. And Sophia, she was cast away for creating him. And so with creating him, now that it's cast away, it's being judged and ruled by him. And now that he's in charge of it, and this is what he's saying, in this material world, you are trapped in your mind. And when you're trapped in your mind, that means that you cannot escape. This is a dome that's put on it. And this is, follow me, because a lot of people get confused at what he's talking about. It's not so much that it's a dome. When he's saying nobody's going out of space, nobody's going here. It's like a simulator that he's saying or whatever. So with that, two ways. In one video, he said this way. Another video, he said that way. But these are different Gnostic beliefs as well. It's so many out there. One of them is there was the serpent in the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve was there, and the serpent was Sophia, telling them to eat the apple because the apple will give them knowledge. And what he was saying, if God is supposed to be a loving God, why would he be mad and want you to know knowledge? And so it'll make you think like, wait a minute. So a lot of people, when I tell people they want to start reading the Bible, hey, go to start at the New Testament. And the reason why I tell them to start at the New Testament, because if you start at the Old Testament, you'll become distasteful and you'll throw the Bible away like, wait a minute, this ain't God. God is evil. God is angry. God is this. And that's what scholars are trying to say, that the Old Testament was written by Yahweh himself. This is the God that they're worshiping, Yahweh, right? And that's what the whole biting of the apple was, to give them knowledge to understand that they are higher beings because they were created, and it's just much more. Now another Gnostic has it that, and then talks about this as well too, that Yahweh, because he did not have all of the powers in his world, this earth, he created Adam, but Adam was considered a half man. He was considered, one scholar says that Adam was created like a worm. He was a worm. And then the other one said that Adam was just a half man and he could not become human. And the reason why they kept him in that state, because they said as long as he's in a worm state, then he can't bring any harm to them. That's where that came about. And then Sophia came, pretty much the grandma came, right? And she healed him and she fixed him, because this was all her doing, right? And so since she was cast out, she was just off. But it said her wisdom did not start until Jesus came back. They said she was powerful, but her wisdom did not start until Jesus came back. Now, I'm going to contradict that. Give me a second. Now, and she made Adam whole. She breathed life into Adam. That's how Adam came about. That's one scholar. That's one Gnostic belief. So it's so many out there, right? It's so many out there. Y'all ask questions if y'all want to know. Ask me something. And then you have the one that her wisdom didn't start until Jesus arrived. That was Jesus' whole purpose of coming. People, scholars say that in different Gnostics, in different beliefs, in different religion, whatever, you have the reason why Jesus came. Some they call Jesus a prophet, some. But whatever it is, in every one of them, they all acknowledge Jesus. Regardless of what title they put on him, they all acknowledge him. In every Bible, they acknowledge him. Whatever title they give him, they acknowledge him. So just like Chapo, you were saying that it is you saying that they acknowledge him and they know he's there, and that is true. Now, let's come back. This is a contradiction. So they say that she came to let me get this right. Okay. They said that she came to, her wisdom came when Jesus came, and Jesus came to bring knowledge back. And that's where the whole thing, the kingdom of God is within you. It's all within you, because that's where the awakening start, understanding your higher conscience, that the God that you're serving of today is the God of the material world. So But they say her wisdom didn't start until Jesus had to come back and save her and give her her power back, give her the wisdom back, because she was shunned and she was thrown away. And the reason why she was thrown away, I don't think I touched it, is because God said, you don't make nothing without me. So God took it. They said some scholars say that she created the world because she was so amazed at his power. And she's like, oh, wow, I can do this too. As I said, and then another scholar believed that God felt that she was trying to be powerful than him, and he cast her away. So whichever one, like I said, whichever one you believe, or if you want to believe, or you just want to look at it as folk tale or whatever it is. And so now, if her wisdom only came when Jesus came about, if you look in the Old Testament, it talks about, Proverbs talks about wisdom, which is Sophia. So in the Gnostics, the lost books, it talks about Sophia and the wisdom and all these different things. Now, when they were putting the Bible together, you got to remember, man put the Bible together. So when they was putting the Bible together, they put in what it is that they think and they felt it should be. They put in the things that, would not contradict this or not contradict that. Or, okay, this might ask too many questions. Or this may cause them to think that, okay, then there has to be if there's a God, God has to have a wife. So they took some things out to, to satisfy the people in the mind. So it was a control type thing. So if she came only when, Jesus, if her story starts when Jesus was up on the mountain, then okay. Let's go back to Proverbs. When they speak of wisdom, they're speaking of her. As a connectu, when they speak of that term, they're speaking of her, right? So the Song of Songs, when they're talking about this song, people read that and they're like, oh, it's a love song to God. Solomon was talking to God and different things, or if he was even the one that they believe wrote that, because it sounded alike, right? And they think he's talking about God, but it's supposed to be a love song between God and Sophia, his wife. So whatever it is that you decide to believe, that's on you. That's the type of research and things. So I said all this to say that there are so many different versions of who Sophia was. There's so many versions of that, right? And you have to do the research for yourself, but you have to go to God first. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah. So then, what's another one? So reading into it and getting a full understanding of it, and getting not a full understanding of it, because I'm never going to get a full understanding. You're never going to, in these books that man wrote, you're never going to get a full understanding of God. You're never going to get a full understanding of who Sophia was, or whatever the case is. You're going to have to get to know them personally for yourself. So another thing was, let's talk about it, the masculine and feminine energy. Everyone, a lot of people call God a woman. And, we get so caught up on what color God is, if he male or female, what he look like, how tall he is he in the real heaven, is he through us, all these different things. And all I could tell you is that he's indescribable. That's it. Now, let's talk about the masculine and feminine energy, because a lot of people like to say that he is a woman because they call Sophia God. They replace her with God. Thank you for the flowers and the gifts, the shares, the likes, the follows. Thank you so much, you guys. Come on in, share with others. And so it's not so much that he's male or female. Every being is both. So with all the research I've been doing and the different things I've been doing, when you break down, he tell you who he is in the beginning, right? So let's look at, if we want to take the Bible, let's take the Bible that they wrote today. In the beginning, he created. And that's a masculine form. That is the masculine create. He created. created this. He created that. He did this. So like the verb of it all is the masculine part. That is who he is. But the feminine part is the part when he gave. The gave. He gave. He created and did and gave. So now it goes and they talk about like, well, when they get a little understanding of Sophia, they throw it out there and they say, well, she is only woman can bring life into this world. Why would they take Eve from Adam's rib and this, that, and the third? And, you know, only a woman can bring another man, a person into this world. Well, okay, that is true in this world. That is true in this world. But in a being world, right? In a place of being. How many of y'all can tell me what's going on in the being world? None of us really can. We can speculate. We can only compare the being world to only the knowledge that we have right now. Now, God reveals himself to you. And how he reveals himself to you, he reveals himself to you any kind of way that's going to get your attention. The ram in the bush, the burning bush. He's all of that. The donkey. He's all of that. He reveals himself in every way. He reveals himself to you when you're sitting around and you're like, well, God, what am I supposed to do next? And then he all of a sudden on the TV, it says your next step is to pick up the phone and make a phone call. And the reason why we can say that is because he is I am. Yeah. He is I am. Meaning I am everything that you say. You say you worship the sun. And I heard another one, you know, I'm doing some research about African Americans. We worship the sun. We're supposed to worship the sun. That's why the sun is good to us and our skin. We can adapt to the sun and we can do this and we worship the sun and we do this and then that's why people get so lost when they're on their journey, because of the fact they'll believe any and everything and run with it. When that may be true, but at the same time, but what if we say I am? Who created the sun? Who created all these things? But we look up and we look up. And that's another thing that they were breaking down of looking up. God is not in the heaven. This is the heaven here. That was created by the Yahweh, by Yahweh. That was created for us to be in and can't escape. The only way you can escape is if you tap into your higher conscious. And you tap into your higher conscious, you're able to escape that. That's what, you know, some scholars believe. And that's what Ankh is talking about. So when you're looking at a right or wrong answer or who has the best answer, it's really none of us. We only going by what somebody wrote. But what do you believe? You understand? So that's the part. What do you believe? So what if we looked at life of, okay, we were dropped off here and because we were raised this way. We were raised to worship and do certain things. We were raised to worship a certain being, a certain God, and a certain religion, and a certain thing. We were raised that way. We were told that's what we're going to do. And we did it. We didn't question it. We didn't do any of that. We just ran with it. And so when we hear other people talk, we look at it as nonsense. We look at it as nonsense and we go strong, gun-ho on what it is that we were taught. And that become our truth for the rest of our life. But what if I told you that? What if I told you what you were taught was wrong? What if I told you that you are in charge of you? Meaning that your heartbeat, everything came from what's inside of you already. Because God is within you. I did not say you're a God. I did not say you're a God. I did not say go and do some witchcraft and do all. That's not what I said. What if, you know, in the Bible they talk about the witchcraft so tough because of the fact It's the powers that's within you anyway. What if I told you that you can do meditation and you can levitate? But see, you can't do those things because people will look at that and say, oh, and call you a witch, or say you're practicing this, and say you're doing these different things, and say this, that, and the third. When actually your magnetic energy, the energy within you, they gave it a name. They called it energy, the magnetic energy that's in you, but it's not. It's the spirit that's in you. It's the gift that's in you. What if all the gift that you think, the spiritual gift that you think is just what it is in the Bible, but that's not the spiritual gift at all? The spiritual gift is beyond that. What if speaking in tongues was more of not trying to see who can hold the longest laying of the tongue and fluttering of the tongue, and basically it was speaking in tongues is just doing what we are doing right now, teaching, being able to understand God on another level and teach it and speak it. Speaking it on his behalf. That's why he gave you different tongues than everybody else, because your tongue is not going to say the things that they're going to say. That's why it said you are not, you're truly not saved until you can speak in tongue, meaning speak about him, speak on his name, teach who he really is, teach the next person how to tap within, be the next Jesus, right? Everybody like, oh, look, can't nobody be Jesus. Not that we're trying to be Jesus, but everybody get confused on what Jesus' job is. So doing studies in different Gnostic Bibles and different scholars, and even in the Bible, if you really read it and not surface read it, it says that he is not here to it says in the Bible he's here to die for your sins, but that's not what it is. He's here to wake you up, right? So if you take what it says in the Bible and take it back to Hebrew, it's two different things of why he's here. That's why in some Bibles it talk about he was crucified. In some Bibles it say he was hung by a tree. Because the interpretation of translating it from Hebrew to Greek to Latin to English, it goes through so many different things. And then by the time it gets to us, the best thing that fits is, hey, yes, the blood. So it's not so much of, we get it twisted with trying to figure out, get stuck on who is, is this God, is it, what he look like, my God, and this, that. And we get stuck on that and don't look at the purpose. And the whole purpose of is the being. The being meaning the spirit. That's the whole purpose. We get so caught up on everything else and not what is important, because when you look at everything, no matter where it's written, it talks about the spirit. The spirit. Everybody get off topic and start talking about everything else. They want to know so bad. Is he male or female? Is Sophia his wife? It's not about that. It's really not about that. The whole purpose of learning about Sophia is learning the wisdom. No one understands Sophia. They see her as a name and they just like, okay, well, that was his wife. No. Sophia means, every name in the Bible has a meaning. It's just when it got to us, we just decided to call them Jaquan and Daquan and everything else and mix it in. And it does, their names have a meaning. It is a mixture of their mother's name and their father's name. And then they create Draquan or Shaquita or whoever, and they create these creatures, right? And they give these names, these creatures. They create these human beings and they give these names. And then guess what? Shaquita and Daquan done got locked up. Shaquita over here got 20 kids and this, that, and the other, because you put that generational curse on them. Because Shaquita came from a bloodline where they have a bunch of kids and they just have kids by men, and then they stay in low income. And I'm not just saying that because that name is black. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't connect the dots to that. What I'm saying is you put a curse on her because that's your bloodline. When you want to, I'm a name of after the mama and the daddy, and the mama and daddy name, one name means hell and the other one name means fire. So why the hell do you want to put your baby in the fire like that? No. Understand what it is. Listen, my baby boy name is Aiden and it means a ball of fire. Let me tell you something. If I would have known, I should have did my research there, because that is exactly his personality. that he is a ball of energy. That kid since birth. My oldest son, Jalen Gabriel. He is my son of good news. He does. He come through with good news all the time. He is such a man. He is so calm in spirit. He is so mild-mannered. He's because I named him after an angel that means something. And then I come with this one, Aiden. And that joker is who he is. And I can't even be mad at him. I can't even be mad at him. So, with all that being said, I want you guys to stop focusing on what God is, what his characters are, because you're never going to find out, because no one living has seen him. So how will we know? How will we know? Focus on the being, right? The spirit of him. Focus on the being. If his being, that's what's supposed to get us on track of understanding, wisdom, knowledge. That's what's supposed to get us to the place that we do our Father's business. What I'm going to say, I ain't doing my Father's business because he ain't black. They got him as blonde, blue eyes, long blonde hair, blue eyes. That's why the world jacked up. This is why there's so much chaos, racism, and craziness going on, because we focus on what it is, because it's going to be a rude awakening when folks find out what color he really is. Folks going to fall out, pass out. I mean, because it describes him in the Bible that way. What you going to do? Check out? No. It shouldn't matter what color he is. It shouldn't matter of trying to figure out if you're chosen or not. You now don't go around choosing yourself, talking about I'm the representative, because he said there will be a lot of false teaching, false prophets, things like that. So when you just run around here talking about I'm chosen, and start speaking stuff because you done had a dream last night because you got drunk all night, and now you done had a crazy dream, and you talking about you prophesied this. Get out my face. Matter of fact, come on, get in my face. Let's have a conversation, because obviously you need some guidance. But no, seriously. So God will tell you what you need to do. So don't focus on the chosen part. Don't focus on the characteristics. Don't focus on these things. Focus completely on the being. Follow the love. If it ain't no love there, disconnect, walk away, go to the next. Listen. We started off talking about, so enough of that. That's a little bit at a time, because it gets so deep. It gets so deep. If y'all got questions about it, y'all can ask me, okay? Y'all can ask me about it, and then I'll answer it. And I'll share the things that I've learned. Thank y'all for the likes, shares, and follows. I'm sorry, guys. I've been tired. Like I said, I was up all night last night, and I was weeping, baby. When I was weeping, baby, and it wasn't for me. Finally, I'm at a point in time in my life right now that I am truly, real, true happiness. I'm not in character anymore. I am truly happy. I am in a place right now that I have disconnected from, I'm going to call this the material world, the functioning of you got to have a job, you got to be connected, you got to be this. I walked away from all of it, and I feel good, okay? So now I'm in a space that I am operating totally off faith, only off God. I am fueled by him. I am fueled by him. There is no other option. There is no, I can call this person. I can call nothing. Every day I get up, it is ordered by God. I don't have the plan. I just get up and operate. There is no more control. So, everybody talking about the beast and the mark of the beast and the 666. Well, we're living in those times right now. And the reason why I'm going to say we're living in those times right now, because they said the mark of the beast is a man. So we're living in these times right now when they're saying that, it's going to have to be on your forehead or on your hand. And what I interpret that to be is your mental state. So I interpret that to be connected to government or whatever it is in this material world connected to it. Because if they can control your mind, right, that's why it's on your forehead. Then look what they said, they're going to put it right here where your third eye is supposed to be, right? Anyway, we're not going to go there because it's a rabbit hole we'll be going down, and Naisha, you will be just tied. So you got to look at, that's your mind. In your hand, this is what you use to work. So if they can affect your mind and affect your hand, then therefore they have complete control over you. It's not going to be me. Okay. I'm in a place right now that God said he always had me. Like I've always been spoiled by God. I've always been spoiled by God. So now I'm operating on full faith. You know, we always say that, like, well, we operate on God. You don't really understand when you decide to totally step into your purpose. The times that you thought that you totally was leaning on God and you was trusting him, you still had something. This is just like, let's think about this. If I'm homeless, right? And I know that, okay, and I got one meal. And I got to get through these next couple of days before I can probably go to another place to get some free food or something, right? That type of trust. And somebody that ain't doing good either come to me and say they hungry. And God tell you, give them your food. Now, hold on now, God. You said, give them my food. Now, this is the ones that have not stepped to their purpose yet. They like, nah, that can't be God. Because God see me over here struggling. There's no way God will have me struggling. But when you operate in your purpose and you hear God say, give them your food, and you getting ready to bite it, you going to look at it because of the fact, oh, God, that was going to be good. You're going to wrap it up, and you're going to pass it to them. And, you know, they always going to do this. You sure? Man, if you don't take that sandwich. Now, two things could have happened in that moment. They hit him with the you sure, and you could have been like, no, I'm not, and took it back. Or that person. See, that's why you don't understand. Sometimes he used you to be a test for somebody else. Oh, no. What did it say? Your internet. Oh. Listen. Oh, okay. No, don't make my niece late. Don't make my niece late. Naisha, we got another niece. Chapo got a little girl. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. So we got another niece. But listen. Two things could have happened. They could have said, you sure? You could have took it back. Like, you know what? No, I wasn't sure. Give my sandwich back, and ate it in their face. Or took it and said, okay, here we go. You could have took it, and this was the test. You were the test the whole time. That person that you gave that sandwich to, they were supposed to be, you're welcome. They were supposed to take that sandwich because they see y'all both in the same. And that was their chance to break that sandwich in half and say, nah, here. And then you eat and they both eat. But in that moment, that person took that sandwich and they went on about their business. You sitting there, you're not saying it out loud now, because you know sometimes we want to say it out loud like, I done gave this person my food. They could have at least. Then we just sitting there looking stupid like, God, okay, I'm trusting you. That's what you call full faith trust. God know you don't have nothing. He know you hungry. And this is what goes into your inheritance bank. Meaning that I needed you to do that. And I wanted to see if you was going to pass this test. And I hate to use that word test. Matter of fact, I'm not using that word test no more because I get mad. Like, God, what are you testing me for? I don't like tests. I don't even like tests. Like, I'll quit. Like, that's why I didn't go to school. I don't want to test. I quit. So I ain't using the word test no more. But that's what God brings to you to show you that, hey, you did the right thing in the mix of all the wrong that's going on in your life. You did the right thing. But this person, I needed to use you because I knew you was going to be obedient. We're going to talk about Job. I needed you to do this because I needed you to be obedient so I could do what I needed to do with him. Now, all of a sudden, because it's all of a sudden for you, this was your last thing that you had to do to help someone else. Now, all of a sudden, you had your breakthrough moment. Somebody just happened to walk by you and say, hey, you hungry? Gave you something to eat. Came, sat down next to you and was like, you know what? What are you good at? And they find out that you're very intelligent. You just had a rough patch. And all of a sudden, doors just start opening up for you. Because that's your moment. You are the testimony. God is not using anybody until he can use you to have the big bang testimony. See, now I'm at the place that I'm operating in my purpose, and my last thing I had to do is disconnect from the society that I knew. That I had to step. Listen, that day that I stepped out and I finally said, I'm walking away from everything I knew. Job, everything that I knew, I'm walking away from this. I'm done. That same day is when I got a phone call and said, hey, we're doing a documentary. That's what I've been working on. And we would like you to be in it. I didn't apply for this. I didn't do anything. It just fell in my lap. So that's what's been going on behind the scenes for me, right? All this stuff that I've been doing to get where I am today is paying off in this moment. Listen, I'm so stoked. Like, I got chills. I am finally in my Cinderella moment. God has finally, I have finally put on the glass slipper that they've been looking and waiting for me to come put my big foot up in this glass slipper. And now I'm in my glass slipper. Like, this is my Cinderella moment. Like, moment of life. I've been waiting on this moment for life. And I am here. I always knew I was going to be here. Right? I always knew. I just didn't know how. I remember when I was younger, I used to sit at the table and I would imagine myself at business deals when I was younger. Business deals. When I was younger than that, like 6, 7 years old, I used to write. I always liked writing. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a writer. But then that fell away because I didn't want to go to school no more. I was tired of school. I just can't do this. School is too much. They want too much. I got stuff to do when I get to school. I got jokes to crack. I got hallways to run. I got streets to run. I got stuff to do. I can't be sitting up in nobody's classroom while she lecturing me when I got stuff in the hallway I need to be doing. So I don't want to be no writer no more. Get out of here. But the whole time, that's what I was destined to do. I was always the one that always gave the good advice. I was always the leader. I'm never going to be a follower. That ain't who I am. And so all that was who I was, but because I allowed someone to take the joy from me, like I didn't tell nobody about what I had going on. My family, no, y'all ain't taking my joy. I've learned to get it done first, didn't talk about it later. So yeah. That's what I've been working on. So it's not so much that I can't get the podcast going. It's just so much of my life. What I know I'm supposed to be doing, I just didn't know how it was unfolding. So I started operating towards that. But it's going in another direction because, yes, what I'm doing is supposed to be done. But God is opening doors for me. So it wasn't until I finally did my last piece, which was disconnect. I was shedding the old me all these years, and I finally stepped out of my shoes of my old self. So I am her. If you knew her, you could talk about her all day. I mean, drag her through the mud. Drag her through the mud. And last night was my last purge. See, he has to get me ready because I'm about to be resurrected. He's got to get me ready. Going into these 3 days, he had to get me ready because of the fact who I am awakening to something totally different. See, who I was in the physical, that's dead and gone. But who I'm about to be in the spiritual. See, that part right there. That's why last night when I wept. See, people think like, oh, well, you'll be all right. You're good. No, bruh. You don't understand. You don't understand. What's my son say? 6'7". I'm still trying to figure out what does that mean other than these 6 foot tall, 7 inches. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, you don't understand. The weeping ain't for me. I'm just in another place. In another place. And it's about to be so good. It's been so good. It has been so good. That was the last thing. Look, the enemy was trying to get me. Like I said, I don't smoke. I don't do drugs at all. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that. But boy, last night the pressure was so heavy. I'm like, well, if I smoked a little bit, maybe I can relax. Because what God is showing me that's about to happen to people, it was a bit much. It was so heavy. It was so heavy. And then to see, he showed me, and then I'm like, God, no. And he showed me the why. It's one thing when he show you what's about to happen, but when he show you the why, and that's when I could have been like, oh, well, let it happen to him. I didn't know they did all that to me, God. Oh my God, because the aha moment happened. The poof, oh my God, it all makes sense now. I could have been like, oh, okay, cool. Let me, go and do your big one, God. No, but that's not what I did. I wept. And I didn't weep because it hurted me because the people did the things that they did to me. And they still smile in my face. Listen, I talk to them all the time. They don't even, well, they know. They know I know. They just don't know I know. Because if they ask me about it, then that means they have to admit to it. Listen, I had someone drive through my front yard, knock over my garbage cans, do all that, and I know exactly who he is. I never brought it up. Nope. And why would you do that? I have no idea. Like, that was the slowest, but I had someone to lie on me and say that they gave me money, like, or they're helping me out, or they gave me stuff. I had people lie, I'm starting to wonder, God showed me this though. When I was working on my first book, I had, and I know exactly who I gave it to. I gave it to a person to look at, to help me because this is the final straw and I submitted to be done. To publish, they no more changes, they no more nothing. And I got a little nervous, even though God told me, you don't need nobody help, just read through it. And I was like, no, let me get one of my close besties to help me look at it. And I did. And God showed me that she is telling people that I stole her material. Now, there's no way she can back that up. I mean, of course it's mine. That was like crazy. Now, I could have been sitting back like this. Put on blast, God. Put on blast. No. I wept for her. Because she don't even understand why her life is upside down. And I can't do anything to help her. When I used to run over there, come on, let me pray for you. No. See, just because you're a prayer don't mean that you're supposed to pray for everybody. Do you hear me? Just because you're a prayer does not mean that you're supposed to intercede for other people or stand in the gap for them. Everybody go running out praying for somebody, putting hands on you, and they trusting you that you're going to heal them, and then they don't get healed or the person passed away or whatever the case may be. And that's because who told you to go take you and your little funky, I just fried a bunch of chicken and cut some onions up and went and laid hands on somebody? What's up, buddy? Yeah, you know what? Take my car so you can put it in the garage. Now, don't crash my car backing up.
Aiden wants me to make some
what?
That loose meat stuff.
Aiden? Okay, that's fine. Can you bring me some creamer from Dollar General? I love you a lot. That's my oldest son. He coming. He gonna be the best husband for somebody. He gonna be the best husband. I did my big one with that one. But yeah, back to them big ashy knuckles that you keep going and laying hands on people. And and you keep going to lay hands on people talking about some, I'm gonna pray for you. Ain't nobody, God ain't told you to go pray for them. That's why it didn't work. You probably put the curse on them. Y'all so quick to say, pray for me. Keep me in your prayers. Pray for me. For why? You asked the devil to pray for you. But listen, when I use that broken English, I'm on to something. For why? Keep me in your prayers. Listen, bruh, do not put me in your prayers. I don't know you. And the spirit that I feel right now that's on you, it ain't a good spirit. Do not pray for me. Matter of fact, I'm rebuking you so that you won't even try to still go pray for me because your prayers are going to be curses. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Know what you're talking about. Stop going to everybody and believing any and everything and going here and doing that. Y'all just do too much. Y'all grow up. But a lot of y'all didn't know that. So that's why I'm telling you now. Stop running for people to do things for you that you can do yourself. That's what you need to learn. You need to understand that. Hold on, guys. Gabriel, son. That's it. Sorry, guys. Okay, Lord God, get my son away. All right. So let me see what we got. Make sure I ain't miss nothing. So yeah, guys, I mean, great day. In this season, you are about to be, if you have healed and you're doing your big one and you have done what you needed to do and you have followed the steps that Coach Nod went through. I told you about the spiritual, mental, and the physical. That was my Trinity. That journal that I created and that I wrote is for people to, it's my testimony and me helping you. If you don't know how to get started, you can follow some of my steps. It's not a lot of writing in it. It's not a whole lot of reading to it. It's more about you writing. That is more about that. Now, this workbook I'm working on, baby, this one right here about to get you right. This one gonna get you right. This one gonna get you right. So I do want to let y'all know that if y'all are in the Mid-South area, Memphis, South Haven, Olive Branch, Byhalia area, whatever, I'm going to be hosting a couple of stop by drop in coaching sessions. And these sessions, the thing with these sessions is they're going to be in this moment right now free because I'm getting myself out there. And it's just more so of me introducing and, so you guys can get to know what I'm all about, right? And the services that I provide. Yes, actually, you are, because my family, they come out from Marietta, out around in that area. So it's about 5 hours, I think about 5 hours. But yeah, so with you saying that, Naisha Nicole, I am willing to come to you because you're not so far away. If you have someone, a place or something, and I'll do donations. If I have to travel, I'll do donations Yeah, I'll do donations because then that will cover my travel expense, far as driving or whatever the case may be. But what I do is I'll teach activities and how to help. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm on, is traveling to people right now. And it's been going good and it's going great. Like I said, everything is on the up and up with me. You know what I mean? And I feel like this, if you wasn't a part of my life throughout the struggle and the journey, then I'm okay with not having you a part of my life anymore. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm still working on some pieces because I'm still closing out some things with my regular job, and I'm opening up things with my new job. But in this season, if you didn't go through the journey with me, and let me tell you something, and there's a reason why I used to cry. I'm like, oh, well, I always got to go through it by myself. I want somebody that I could just cuddle and crawl up to and just cry, and they rock me like a baby and all this stuff. And what he showed me is that queens only get cuddled by the king. That's who they get cuddled by. Now, they have their assistants, that's what I'm gonna call them. They have that one or two assistant that they can talk to and they can vent to. But the intimacy, yeah. But far as the intimacy part, and we're not talking about sexual, but the intimacy part of getting that close to the vulnerable state of me would only be with the king. And right now there is no king in my life other than God. So what he was explaining and showing me was that I did cradle you. I was there for you. I did all those things for you. What you were looking for in the physical, I did those things. And it wasn't until I finally came to terms that there's never going to be a human there. There's never going to be a human man to get me through these things, because they would have wavered the way I would have got here. I wouldn't have got here with pure intention. I would have got here by force, because I would eventually pulled away and ran to it. And no, I needed to get here in the natural, genuine state that I was supposed to. I needed to get here by following the love. Now that I have followed the love, now the love is following me. Meaning that I am in my most abundant, attractive state of my life. If I talk to you, it does not mean I want you. It does not mean that I want to rekindle something. It does not mean anything. It's just who I am, period. You know what I mean? But in this state right now, this is where I am in my most abundant state. I'm in my most fertile state. And right now, I know I'm fertile in real life. And listen. So we want to make sure that we keep that part locked down. But in my fertile state of birthing new ideas and birthing new things, and doors opening for me and me becoming the best version of me. So now in this day, in this time right now, and especially after this whole resurrection, listen, this is something symbolic, not just to Jesus, but it's symbolic to you as well, to us as well, because this is the awakening, right? I've been talking about the awakening, but when you get on the other side of it, when you have been resurrected from the old you, from the you that you've known, and you've stepped into the new, and you are who you are, right? Baby. You don't worry about anything. I don't worry about anything else. I don't worry about, when I say I don't worry about none, I don't sit and worry about, like I used to, like, God, when you going to send me a husband? My whole thing is, God, you can keep him. Because it's not so much that I don't want, or I'm just too much for that, or, I'm better than I don't need no man. It's not that. It's just that I know my husband that you have for me is going to be my perfect match. And if he ain't here yet, that means he's still working on him. So you can keep him, fix him up, do whatever you got to do, train him. Do whatever, because what I don't want is to prematurely have my husband brought into my life, because that's the thing. When you meet your husband, you'll always meet him before it becomes a thing. You know, when you hear people say, we've been knowing each other all this time, we just never tried it, or it was like this, and you know, we fell out, and this, that, and the third, is because it was a premature, it was the meet and greet of, hey, you try and force him to be into your life, and then it's like, oh boy, get away from me. No, it was just that the attraction was supposed to come. But let's look at it as a magnet, right? If you got two negative sides trying to push them together, the magnet is going to push away, right? So your person come to you, you come to your person, y'all meet. It's something about y'all. Y'all get together. It's something about y'all. You know, everybody get it twisted and they turn it into, oh, that, I know what she talking about. She talking about a twin flame. I am not talking about a twin flame. Twin flames don't exist. We're going to talk about that too. But anyway, you meet, and it's the meet and greet. You're always going to meet the person you're supposed to be with. You're always going to meet that person, and you're going to meet and greet. The problem is we want to categorize and put that person where they're supposed to be in our life, where we want them to be in our life. And we like, yeah, get in my life. I want you to be my man. And then it become an obsessive thing, and it become a lustful thing, and become all these different things, and it don't work, and it become like the magnet that pushes it away, right? Pushes it away instead of bringing it in. And the reason why that happened is because the twin flame, as everybody keep running around talking about this freaking twin flame. Now, the twin flame is masculine and feminine energy. Let's talk about it. So that same thing that they talk about with Jesus, oh, he's a woman, oh, God's a woman, and this, that, and other. Jesus was Sophia because it's a masculine, it's a feminine. No, God, which is indescribable anyway, carry both of the energies. And the reason why he carried both of the energies, because he created something and then he nurtured something. He created the world and then he nurtured it. Those are feminine and male energies. That's what that derives from. So don't get stuck on, is he a male, woman, black, white? Don't get stuck on that. Get back to you. Now, within you, you have a balance of feminine and masculine energy. And people think that, oh, when you meet your soulmate, that it's two souls split. It is so funny how they do it. It's two souls split into one, and you guys are lost in the world trying to find each other. And shut up. Like, that is such a fairy tale. It's cute, though. It reminds me of some mythology. It's really cute, though. I mean, it's really, really cute. But let's get to the basics of it. You have masculine energy and feminine energy. And when you're brought into this as a human being, right? When you're brought in, now when you meet your other person, right? The other person that I talk about, that you do the meet and greet, and y'all just, it's like two negatives, because you as a feminine in the human form, right? You're balancing more of the masculine energy. So with that masculine energy, now him in the male energy, you know, he's a male being, and then he's in masculine energy, and it just ain't working. Separation. Or you in masculine energy and he in feminine energy, and y'all just clashing. Nobody has balanced the masculine and feminine within. And this is what they talk about, the soft girl era. I'm not doing that anymore. What they're saying is they balance the masculine and feminine energy. And sometimes people don't balance it. They get into character and they become like, they look the part. They start dressing more feminine, you know, all this, that, and the third. When they're out in public, they do this, but when they get home, they throw their bonnet on, they pull their wig off, you know, and go cuss their kids out and cuss everybody out in the house, and you know, do all these things. And then when the camera's on, they back to praise you. See, that was me at one point. But anyway, we'll talk about it another time. Because I didn't know any better. I didn't know who I was supposed to be. I didn't know, right? I was in character. So now that I have fully balanced my masculine and feminine energy, now I understand that, okay, I'm not fighting nobody. I'm not cussing nobody. Matter of fact, listen, as much of the hood they taught me, you don't never snitch, you don't never do nothing. I don't know. At this point in time in my life, you come messing with me, the next thing you probably gonna hear coming from my speakerphone is the other line saying 911, what's your emergency? They are bothering me. Please come get these folks away from me. Because I'm not fighting with nobody no more. I'm not yelling at nobody no more. I'm not doing any of that no more, because it's not who I am. I'm no longer operating in who I was. I'm more so of operating in whose I am and who I am. meaning that I don't have time for it. Now here's the feminine energy, because it's hard to balance masculine and feminine energy when you were raised as a tomboy all your life. Then you was in the military. You got to be a little boy all this time. You know what I mean? You walking around here like a little boy with a dress on all these years. So now it's like, okay, now in my masculine energy does not mean that I have to yell, fuss, and cuss. My masculine energy means that when I operate in it, it means that, hey, straight to the point. This is business. And even in that, because I'm still going to stay as a woman, if that other man is trying to argue and fight with me, I'm going to completely disconnect. Because I'm not a man. I'm not going back and forth with a man. I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I don't need you trying to prove me right or wrong, whatever the case, right? I ain't doing any of that. I ain't doing it. I'm just going to balance me. And I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay right here where I am in my space, where I am. And that is whose I am and who I am. Not who I was with who am I. No, whose I am and who I am. And that's where I'm at right now. So it's not about having that masculine energy. It's not about, going in the rah, rah, rah. So now that I'm in a place, that's what makes a woman attractive. Everything is attracted to her. Money is attracted to her. Abundance is attracted to her. Blessings are attracted to her. And it's not just women, men too. That's when you become attractive. People, I got men and women attracted to me. I got everything right now is attracted to me. Whether they attracted to me because they want to be nosy, because they're jealous of what I got going on. It doesn't matter. I'm attracting all these things right now. And because I have balanced my masculine and feminine energy, I have balanced and understand and taken part and stepped into my purpose and my power, that it doesn't bother me what if they attracted to me because they hate me. I don't care. Right now, what I'm learning how to do is not just start weeping for everything, every little thing, like, oh, Lord. When, okay, I see somebody, they mistreat me, and I'm just in the store weeping, like, oh, Lord. And they're like, what is you crying for? Oh, my gosh, you got the ugly cry. Because God about to get you back. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. So that person that you met, and that's why I'm okay and I'm cool with, because I know God is going to bring what's for me. Because I have been dating. I used to date date out of a place of who I was at the time. And who I was at the time, I was broken. I loved everybody unconditionally from a broken place. That's what I did. That's who I was. I treated everybody with unconditional love from a broken place. So that means I allow people to run over me, take advantage of me, take from me, talk about me, use me. I allowed those things, even though I knew that's what they were doing, but I was loving them unconditionally from a broken place. So when you're at a broken place, you'll accept anything. I dated people from an unconditional, loving, broken place. And that's why I dealt with the people who teeth looked like they was throwing up gang signs in their mouth. They had too many teeth in their mouth. It was just too many teeth in their mouth, and they was, and then they had the nerves to start looking down on me like I'm not attractive. I beg to differ. However, I'm being funny, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that. I allowed those type of things. I didn't have a standard of dating because I was at a place of unconditional love from a broken place. That's where I was. So you can treat me in, and what I would do is allow them still in my life because I knew that they didn't know what they were doing. I'll give them a pass. They don't know that, after this is over with, they'll be back because they in love or they love me. Because that was my job, was to trigger that in them, to teach them about love and know what true love is. So now when they go in another relationship, the whole thing was when they go in another relationship, they know what true love is and they won't waste their time if they learn their lesson. See, I didn't know that then, but I understood now why I kept going to the same type of energy. One, I needed to heal something within me, and then two, I was the reason to trigger their awakening to understanding what love is. Because a lot of people didn't know what love is, and that's why I got rejected. They looked at me as, and people like me, they'll look at you as too much. because they don't know what love is. They never been truly loved. So when you come in just kind, operating in a relationship, showing love, being there, doing your normal things, like your normal life is to love people, treat people right. You're going to cook dinner anyway because that's who you are. You're going to feed, even if it's your friends that come through. And I'm not talking about just relationship. I'm talking about friendships too, any kind of ship. You know, friends, you're always going to take care of your friends. You know, if you go out, you're always going to look out for the next person. That's who you are. But when they experience you, they look at it, that can't be real. Doing too much. Until they find out later that, dang, that's your character for real. You really are her. And then they realize then, and they, you know, that I love you and I didn't know what love was. And then now that they understand what love is, it's like, I don't want you, because what happened is I healed and I realized, what? Child, what was that? Why was I like you like that? And people blame it on a soul tie. It's not a soul tie. It's not a soul tie. It's something that you hadn't healed. See, when you get with someone, right? When you get with someone, and people think having sex and all these different things give you a soul tie. And that's something that you tell yourself. And you tell yourself that because you have to. I don't know what it is about humans. We have to have an explanation. We have to have an explanation. I'm so tied to you right now, and there's something about this person I can't let go. And it's something, and they put a spell on me. I'm so tired, curse or something like that. And they say those things. That's not what it is. It's called love, and you never experienced it before, so it's driving you crazy. Poof. That's what it is. So stop calling it what you want to call it to make you feel better, and call it for what it is. So yeah, so when you introduce, like back to what we were saying, the meet and greet of who your spouse was, you meet and greet, you always see them. Everybody that's been married to somebody, they had an experience with that person before they decided to be with that person. So you meet them, and then something happens. So let's say your masculine and feminine energy has not dwelled. Yep. Has not been settled or healed or whatever the case may be. And then you guys reject each other. Now that you reject each other, now he's gone on his way, you're going on your way. But it's something about y'all that the pull is still there. My nose itching. We talking about something now. The pull is still there. But where I am now, I've healed. And that's why I always say the male and the woman, they heal differently. A woman goes within spiritually and heals spiritually. A man heals his outside, meaning that I don't like to call my men slow, but it'd be so funny to talk about them. But no, y'all not slow. I love y'all. The men, what they do is they surface see everything. They think they go within deep. They really do. They do. A lot of them just smoke and to feel like they done went deep within, and they ain't went deep within. All they did was stay right here at the surface. It's just that they mind just loose thinking about it. They dancing around it. So they doing the ring around the rosy. You know, they out there pushing on the door that say pull. You know, that's who they are. Ring around the rosy. You know, they out there pushing on the door that say pull. You know, that's who they are. I just wanted to make sure my phone wasn't connected to my Bluetooth in my car. So men, they heal on the outside, and when they heal on the outside, and when they get that together and they disconnect from all their friends, see, the healing of the outside don't look like our healing. Their healing don't look like our healing, and the reason why their healing don't look like our healing is because they don't go deep. They don't know how to go deep yet, and that is the purpose of the woman. They don't know how to go deep yet. They know how to heal from things. They see things and they're like, I don't like that no more. I'm done with you. I don't want to chase your skirt no more. Your skirt, yours and yours, I'm gonna still chase your skirt until I find somebody else, but your skirt, I don't want it no more. You know what, I'm gonna put you on the side, because matter of fact, you know what, I'm gonna bust down all y'all until I find my wife, because yeah. So anyway, but then they disconnect from all the drinking and the smoking and the friends, and they start looking at things and they're like, you know what, let me go to church. This ain't so bad. Some of them, if they're spiritual, they'll start listening to more podcasts. They'll start doing things like that. They'll start educating themselves. And then their speech is going to change a little bit because they're not going to want to talk about the same dumb stuff they was talking about because now they got something else to talk about. See, that's the part of a man when he healed. When a man healed, they start researching and learning different things. So they conversations do change. And the reason why they conversations change because they realize that the material world, see, they understand the difference now. Like, man, that's all we talked about is money and sitting around drinking. Like, yeah, I want to make money. We was making money, but I want to make money differently. I want my money to go so long that I don't have to sit over here and continue to hustle. Like, I got to continue to hustle. Like, I don't get no break. I got to continue to work hard. I got to continue to hustle. I don't get a break. I'm about to change it up and get a business and do something or hustle that I don't have to keep hustling. All I have to do is just keep creating. So that's how they heal. And then you guys meet again. And y'all like, oh, look at you, you know. And 9 times out of 10, the man is watching you the whole time. Girl, if you got social media, the man watching you. It is what it is. Because men are, they're possessive peace. Possessive peace. Listen, my S's are rolling into my S's, man. I am S'ing over here. So they look at it like, okay. Because at first they'll watch you because they can't stand you. They watch you because they can't stand. They're going to pick apart everything that you got going on. They're going to share your videos with you. And if you want to know if they're sharing your videos, it'll say when they come across your thing talking about some people you may know to say shared with. You ain't never shared. They ain't never shared nothing with you ever. No, what they shared is your content. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Google it. Research it. And they're sharing your stuff with other people and they're making fun of you. Girl, they're talking about you. Now you this, now you that. They get so involved with you and don't even realize they become obsessed with you. And then when they become obsessed with you, this is what happens. They start looking within. Because now you're talking about something. Now they're looking at like, oh, wait. You ain't who I thought you was that I boxed you into something with. Now I'm just going through a scenario here. It ain't no real thing. But I just want you to understand how the flow of things of healing and coming together work. And then they start saying, okay, well. Wait a minute, I might have been wrong. They're not going to ever admit it now. A prideful man will never admit it because they have to kill the ego. Kill the pride and the ego. I'll talk about that in my videos today. So then once they do that, then it's like, okay, cool. Now they learn that, okay, I might like her. I might be the problem. Then they start healing some more. So anyway, they go through all this stuff. There's a bunch of game plans that goes on. How did I go down this? But anyway, let's go. You know, I let the Holy Spirit guide all the time. But anyway. It's a whole rabbit hole they go down. And anyway, you guys end up back together, right? But now that this person has healed all this outside noise, and you have healed the inside noise, now they know that I can't come in there talking crazy to her like I did before. Like now they're ashamed. They feel stupid for the way that they talked to you before because now they realize who you are. Now it's like, So now they're going to come in, and they probably won't apologize, but they'll come in softer and more in tune with what you have going on. And when they do that, they're healed on, you have to remember they're only healed on the outside. The inside is your job for your spouse, the one God has for you. Now, you heal on the inside. You have not healed the outside of you, meaning that protection, that security. You still under God. You still under God. Because you surrendered. As a woman that healed, I surrendered all that security. I ain't got no security. I only got God. And if God walk away from me, boy, I'm in bad shape over here. I am in bad shape over here. But that's not my job to do. That is for him to do. And that's how I always teach you guys. So when you come together with the person you're supposed to be with, because you're healed on the inside, you're going to go in and you're going to heal his inside because he's at a place now that he's healed enough to be allow himself to be vulnerable to you, that you can get in there and he not push you away or try and control the way that you heal him. He's going to allow the love to feel that love. And you're going to go in there and heal that. And he's going to be right here as your security. And once he does this, what he just told God is that, hey, I'm going to cover her now. I'm taking your job. You can trust me, God. I'm stepping in. And that's what a covenant comes from. I'm coming in and I'm doing this. And then that's when that man becomes accountable for you in everything that you do. If you decide to get out of alignment, guess who in charge of that? Because he told God that he was going to cover you. Because you're no longer up under God. He's up under God. Then there's you. Do you understand? Does that make sense, guys? So yeah, so your person, that's why I said, well, God, if I'm single, I'm not mad about being single. Not in this healed place. In this healed place, it's because I'm okay to wait for him. Because he needs to be worked on. Work on. I'll be here. I will be right here. Doing my Father's business. Over here getting money. Now let me stop. I do. Y'all better watch out. Thank you, Silky. I do, baby. Oh, you better watch out. You know I ain't got my glasses. Yeah, and you know what? And it comes that way. Let me tell you. And I was just saying, it comes that way. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss somebody's statement. It comes that way because you're glowing now. You're in your purpose. You are attracting things. You're attracting everything that you want. You're attracting it without having to go through the process of manifesting. Let me explain something to you about manifesting. We give ourselves permission to manifest, right? What do you mean by that? A lot of people manifest by doing the writing it down, 369, meditation, lighting the candle, whatever y'all do. And that is just a form to say, I'm giving myself permission. When I do this ritual like this, that means I'm giving myself permission. When all along, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. I like to meditate sometime because I need to clear my mind because I want to see something. It's always I'm trying to see something, right? But you don't have to do any of that to manifest nothing. You don't have to give yourself permission. You don't have to give yourself a of how you should do it or how it got to get done, and you ain't got to do all that. Nope, you ain't got to do all that. But what you got to do is just say it. We talked about it as a mustard seed, right? Just say it and believe it. So right now, because you're so focused on just doing you, Latrice, you just chilling, you minding your business, you do your content, you over here singing in the mic. You over here doing all that. Just being you. You operating in your purpose. You're in your attractive state. That you're attracting everything that you want and that wants you. And that's why people are coming in like, look, I got to lock that down. When a person rush in like that to lock you down, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. That person is not healed. Now, slow and steady wins the race. I don't believe that mess. What I'm saying is, that person is not healed because they're coming in with a motive of either to possess you or to control you or to receive because they see that you're about to get this abundance is coming on you and they want that. No, a healed person, they don't come rushing in, diving in. What they do is they understand their mission with you. Meaning that anybody that you're with, you guys are supposed to be doing kingdom business together. If y'all are not doing kingdom business together, then that ain't your person. This is not the old timeline of oh, he like me, I like him, and your marriage is going to fall apart because you see things this way and you believe in things to go this way, and you see these things for you because you're a manifester and you know that all you got to do is ask God for it's going to happen. But this person is in the, I see the glass half empty, you see it half full. It's eventually going to cause conflict, because if you see it half full, you're constantly going to have all these ideas, and they're going to look at them as, oh, you just got dreams, and they're going to shatter it. Trust me, that's what happened in my marriage. I never felt like I would live to be my true potential, because he was the type of person that was just like, oh, well, yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah, right. But now that I'm not with him, I've been doing amazing. Since I cut him, some of my family off, all my friends off pretty much, I've been doing amazing. The sky is back to being the limit. When they told me I was as a child, the sky is the limit, I'm back to living in that childlike faith. That's the mustard seed. That childlike faith. So yeah, and it's happening for me. So yeah, if they coming and rushing in, pump the brakes. And maybe your person, but he needs to heal. They need to heal. She needs to heal. Because you coming in with a motive when you're supposed to be coming in. Any relationship in this timeline moving forward, any and all relationships supposed to be helping with the greater good. So the greater good is love. Is your relationship going to produce love? Will you be able to stand the test of time? Will you be able to stand in a leadership position or up front just doing content together? You think it's not a leadership position? That is a leadership position, because somebody is looking at you and somebody is saying goals. See, remember when they were saying, oh, goals, 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 goals. Yeah, you see what them goals got them. Everybody is divorced because once they introduce their life to the world, one starts the attractiveness. I told you become attractive. When you stop operating your purpose, you become attractive. But when you don't believe or you get out of alignment, that's why most businesses start great, but when they get out of alignment, it goes left and right, because you get off of task. Meaning that mission statement, right? That mission statement that you had, it is no longer in that realm anymore. You've added to it and went another route, and it's causing chaos, and you disconnect, and boom. So, in this season, you're going to be used, whether you're single, whatever, you're in your leadership position. Everybody that's operating in purpose, they are a leader now. You are the new leaders, right? And you're operating in your purpose. And while you're operating in your new purpose, people are looking at you, because you have to teach them something. I don't care what I got, about 8 people on here, 37,000 likes, 8 people on here. And this is the reason why. One of the reasons why my stuff does not hit the FYP page is because I did the mass following, and I refused to delete all my followers that I followed. I'm not deleting them. I'm considered a bot. So it'll reach the people that know me, and it may come through a page because you share it. But I'm considered a bot, and I'm okay with that, because it's not me that's restricting it. I look at it as God is doing his job, because who it's supposed to reach, it reaches. And they come in and we do what we need to do, okay? So smaller crowds, bigger crowds, it does not matter the crowd. It does not matter the anything. In this season, you're operating your purpose. You are a leader, and what you put in front of them. And that's why I'm telling you, I have been so at peace when I shedded the last piece of me. Everything has changed. I mean, quickly. It was like overnight, boom. Because now I have to watch everything I do. Now I have to watch everything I say. Oh, but then that's good. That's good. Some days I hit, and some days I do not hit at all, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, everything just changed, because I'm no longer just, Coach Nye Yanu, or Nye. I am her. I am Coach Nye. You know what I mean? So I have to be mindful of how I handle people and how I do things and handle things. So I'm no longer connected to things and people that will cause me to come out of character. So I disconnect from it all. I'm telling you, last night, that was the first night that I ever dealt with that level of pressure last night, and the weeping that I did. I'm telling you, like I said, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things. But I was like, I don't know, maybe hit a little something, give me a shot. Nah, I'll have a drink here and there, but maybe I need a shot. Maybe I need something. Because I didn't know how to handle that. I was just like, Lord, until I allowed myself to sit still and get quiet. And then God spoke to me. And it wasn't about me. Yep, Sean. Yep. But I never experienced it, so I didn't know how. But just that quick, because we confront something new, we run back to old ways. I was just that quick about to connect back to a timeline that I'm no longer on. So I'm grateful that there was no one that showed up in that moment. And it wasn't a coincidence. That's God. God will make it that they will not. No one will come. And they didn't need it to come, because then because what he showed me, what if the people that he was showing me came? I would have probably told them, like, bruh, something about to happen. You know what I mean? And that's not what I'm supposed to do, because I didn't understand it. And I would have ended up telling them the story. You know what I mean? Or telling them the dream, or whatever it is, the prophetic vision. I would have told them that. And that's not how it works. It's a law to everything. You just can't go around telling everybody what you done seen and what you done dreamed and what you done did, and it's just, you can't tell everybody the prophetic vision. And I'm learning that, because sometimes still I'll be like, oh, let me tell you about this dream I had, when I shouldn't be. So that's something that I'm learning how to not tell. It's hard though. It's hard not to tell when you have a prophetic dream. It's hard not to tell somebody. It is hard, because it's like, wow, right? Mind blowing. But yep, it is mind blowing. And then you find yourself stuck in a cycle. So it's so important that you learn how to deal with that. Even in church, in the churches, you guys, folks just want to go prophesying and get up in a pulpit and, this, that, and the third. Even giving testimonies. Everybody ain't supposed to get your testimony, but you be so excited to tell it, because you want to tell them how good God worked. And then when you tell them and don't nobody believe your dream, it's because that wasn't the person you were supposed to tell it to. So now they got you in confusion, like, well, maybe I am crazy. Or that testimony that you done told the church, and you weren't supposed to tell the church, and ain't nobody happy for you, and ain't nobody looking to care about your testimony, and you like, oh, them people, they some haters, or this church is mean. No, it just wasn't for them. It wasn't for them. Now they got you feeling like, no, that testimony is this big. It wasn't for them. Everybody can't handle your life. If I was to tell everybody my full story, and once I completely disconnect, I'll be able to tell you guys my full story. My full story. For the people that need to know, the right people is going to be in here when I tell that story, because it's going to have to help somebody. So you guys get a piece of me. But if you were to know the real me, you'll be like, great day. Now, how did you get in the workforce? How do you get in the Army? Girl. That's why it frustrates people that I grew up with. It frustrates some of my family members. It frustrates them, because they know who I was, but now they see who I am, and they see how I'm living and how I've always been living ever since I cut away from who I was when I left Gary, Indiana. And it's like, why? How she? I done went to college. I done did the how she? Well, because I'm that chick. Stop hating on me, bruh. Stop coming for me. Shoot. Because I'm that chick. Because what they didn't know, there was another side of me, the spiritual side of me, that always, talked to God, always prayed to God. I knew who I was. I just didn't understand. I was a product of my environment. Let's put it that way. Period. So, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so it's just in this season, you guys, if you done did your healing and you in your purpose and you're starting to research things and you're starting to study things and you're starting to follow people that you wouldn't really follow, you are in where you're supposed to be, your winning season, okay? This is the time. And trust me, sometimes I'm just like, I have to catch myself. I'm like, God, what are billions of dollars at though? That's what I said. I wanted. But then I have to remember that I'm in my winning season. It's not about the big lump of money coming in on my lap. It's about that I'm creating and birthing everything that I wanted. I birthed the life that I want. Yeah. I birthed through my purpose. Here I am. Here I am. So y'all, when y'all going through, just remember that just because you can't see it, but if you feel it, that's enough. That's the mustard seed. Remember the tree that's in the mustard seed, it already knows what it's going to be. It already knows it's going to be a 10-foot tree, 20 branches on it, and it's going to produce 1,000 seeds. That seed already knows. The person that plants it needs to believe that it's going to do what it's supposed to do. So, you guys, if you feel it in you, that's your mustard seed. Water it. If you feel it in you, water it. If you feel like you're supposed to be the New York's bestseller, you feel it in you, water it. Start writing. You feel that you're supposed to be a CEO, water it. And open a business. However you go about doing it, don't worry about if it's going to work. As long as you stay in alignment. If you're going to cheat to get there, baby, you still gonna get there. Just that you're gonna have to go back. And what I mean by that is how I explained the Autobahn and the flow of traffic. If you cheat, you get on the Autobahn and you go 150 miles so you can get to your destination quickly. But see, the problem is going that way and not getting in the flow of traffic, you never get to a stop sign. And at that stop sign, that's something that you pick up. You pick up a gem. At that stoplight, you pick up a new gem. You pick up a new idea. You pick up some more guidance. Then when you get to the next stoplight, you pick up some more. You pick it up. When you get to the train track and it's a 2-mile long train, you are getting downloads. Yes, baby. You're going to pick up more downloads. You get time for God to mold you. Do you understand? When you're in the flow of traffic, you learn how to go with the flow and when to speed up, when to slow down, when to take a detour. You learn these things. But if you're on the Autobahn, you'll never learn these things because you don't went past everything. And now you get to the destination and you wait. You wait. But see, you're waiting still. And by the time I get there 2 days later, 2 years, 20 years later, you're still waiting. And then when I get there, I show up the person that you were supposed to be, right? Not saying I took your life, but while you're looking at me, it's like, man, she is confident. She is smart. She is rich. She is blessed. Look what she driving. Look what she got. See, I got all these things along the way, but you were such a rush to get to the end. Now that I'm at the end with you at the final destination, I have everything that I manifested. So what's about to happen now that I'm at the destination? I'm about to relax because everything is going to work for me. You, on the other hand, are finally about to get everything that's about to catch up with you. It's going to feel like hell. It's going to feel like chaos. It's going to feel like confusion. It's going to feel like all these things because, like I said, you were supposed to be there. And everything that you were supposed to learn is still going to meet you there. But it's going to come there unorganized. It's going to come there, balled up, boxed up, graffiti on the wall, all that. And you have to untangle it all. 20 years of untangling, meaning the healing. 20 years of unhealing. Of healing. 20 years of taking and finding the root to this, to figure out what this piece go in your life, figuring out the puzzle of this, to figure out all these things when you were supposed to be at this destination with me, sitting in this chair on the beach. Matter of fact, we supposed to be over in St. Kitty over there with Chapo, sitting on his beach, looking in the water. But you too busy. You can't enjoy that because you too busy and focused on trying to get your life together while I'm over here like, yeah, 20 years later, look at me. Stella got a groove back. She fine. Yeah. And that's because you healing. See, for me, listen, I hurried up and got to 2025. Listen, I had hurried up and got to 2025. I done went through everything. I done wrote books. I done wrote programs. I done did all this stuff. I did so much in a 6-month time frame of 2023, right? That when I went in 2024, everything that I needed to get done was already done in 2023. In those 6 months, I did everything. One of my close friends, he like, I don't know how you did it. It was like you said you was going to do this. Next thing you said you was doing this. And all this stuff got completed because I was operating in my purpose. I don't get tired. But I was going. I took everything that God gave me and I ran with it until it was time for me to write my other book. I'm like, okay, got that book out the way. Let me start on this one. And I couldn't think. And I was like, okay, well, let me start on the workbook. Well, I couldn't think. Then I got frustrated. And then I beat myself up like, now I'm in 2024 now. I done built a house. I done did everything. Now I packed up my old house, got everything going, and I'm ready to go. And I did a whole lot in 6 months. So now I'm waiting. I was talking to my friend in tears. I was like, what if I did all that in vain? Like, I don't see nothing moving. I don't see anything moving. See, that was a lesson with anything. He said, nah, you got to let the stuff catch up. You move so fast. He was like, I never met nobody. Like, you move fast. Let it catch up. And I needed to hear that. Because every time God sent him, me and him link up, God use him. And that's when I slowed down and I was like, you know what? I done moved in a new home. I done built a home, moved in a new home. I never did the pictures of the showing folks of like the steps of signing and the building process. Never did all that because I was too busy doing something else. So then I was like, dang. And I look back like I missed the enjoyment. I missed the whole me transitioning into the new me. I missed all that. Which I seen as me, doing my job. But I missed the things along the way because I hurried up and got to 2025. To go into 2025 with the aha moment of, slow down. What's up, God? I don't have to rush because I have been doing it my whole life. That's my work ethic. My supervisor would say, Naya, I don't know what to give you. I give you work and it's right back on my desk. If it's doing 30 days, I'm still getting it done the next day because I need the other 29 days to sham. And I didn't just do mess. I did quality work. I did great work. So he showed me all that. And I was like, you know what? Let me enjoy. I done did everything. And then I had another conversation with him this year. After that, I'm like, you know what? Let me slow down. But then I talked to him and I was like, man, I don't know. I was explaining some stuff about feelings and stuff. I'm like, I done gained all this weight, I always been real cut. And, because I've been working and the whole pregnancy thing and all that stuff, I ain't doing no working out. Now, don't get it twisted. I didn't get fat or anything, but it's just the point. I'm not cut. And And I'm talking to him. I'm just like, man, this ain't right. Why I can't whip myself back into shape? You know, I'm a personal trainer. I could do magic. And then he reminded me. And then he came again and he said, nah, you her. You look good. You've been trying to gain weight and do this, that, and the third all these years, and you got it. And I said, oh my God. That's when it hit me. It is foreign to me because I don't know her. Who I am, I don't know her. Because I rushed so fast to get somewhere, I was a whole new person all this time. I'm not the same. I'm not the same. And that's when it hit me like, I gotta slow down. I gotta shed this old me. Like I've shedded the old me and didn't even realize it. And that's when I got into the whole thing of, you know what? God, what is it? Talk to me. Talk to me. Because everybody telling me congratulations. And I'm like, what they telling me Listen, really, like, what they telling me congratulations for? Something that I don't see, that I don't know? Whole time, because I am her. I am attracting all these things. I'm so used to working, I'm not even looking at the small accomplishments that I'm doing. So I had to slow down. And everything that I've talked to you guys about, it's usually a testimony of mine, or I've experienced it. So I had to slow down and really embrace it and take it in like, oh no, I'm that chick. Ooh, I made it. I did it. Yes. I'm telling you. I'm so grateful. Listen, y'all don't understand when I tell y'all, and I always call y'all out by name. Wait a minute. First off, Latrice, thank you for all the likes. I got 44. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you, everyone, for all y'all likes. Y'all likes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Jealous people. Listen. You brought that up, but child, that was one of the things that my weeping was about last night. When God showed me the one, and a part of one of them, it hurt it. It hurt it. Now this one, it actually hurt it because with this female, she's supposed to be my friend, and this one hurted me. It wasn't that I was weeping for her soul, because I already know she going through it already anyway. But this one hurted me because I loved her for real like a sister. So when God revealed things to you, like that hurted. Yeah. But I'm not going to address it because why kick her while she's down? But God got to deal with her, you know. So it is what it is. But so now so you know, understanding that I rushed through life, and it's not that I was rushing. I was just used to doing it. And see, that's the thing with the enemy. When you're on your purpose, he'll have you chasing a passion. And if you're too smart and you understand what he's doing, you'll stay on your purpose. So then what he'll say is, here, boom, he go to Autobahn, go. And therefore you'll miss everything that you're supposed to learn along the way. So listen, I done sat out here for a long time because I missed you guys, you know. I will be going live more often. Like I said, I'm back in the office environment until I close that completely out. I don't really be having the time to come home, jump on this, cook for my kids, because what I'm never going to do is allow anything to come between me and my boys. And we like to eat together, play cards while we eating and all that. The cards got all type of food on it. You best believe we be in them playing some spades. But, you know, that's my time with them. I'm never going to let a job come between that. And that's something that working from home taught me. I'm not chasing anything that's going to come between me and the love for my children, because they had to suffer so much when they were younger because I thought I had to chase a dollar then, you know, to keep food on the table. But God always gave me a way out that I never really had to ever work. I never really had to ever work. But with that, you know how it is. Find a daycare, throw them in a daycare, you know, fussing at them, yelling at them, screaming at them because I done had a bad day or I'm overwhelmed and this, that, and the third, and I'm not cooking with love. I'm just cooking. I'm just surviving. I was so glad when my oldest son stood up to me. I think he was in his 6th grade. And it's not that he stood up to me like I was a bully. He just stood up and he put his foot down like, why you the one always mad? I'm like, what am I mad? I'm always mad? What do you mean I'm always mad? I ain't yelling. But it became my tone. It's not that I was yelling. It became my tone, just a direct tone. And he didn't do it in a nasty way. Like, you always... No, it was just... He had a conversation with me. He said, you said we can always be honest with you. I said, yeah. So I created a safe space for them. And when he got in that safe space with me, I had to shut up because I could not come in that safe space and not make it safe again. I created that. And I told them that was our safe space. So I had to let them have it. And then when we moved here... I never knew how much I really worked, how hard I worked, and how fast I worked. And he stopped. He was like, Mom, do you ever stop? And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, we're doing something all the time. Well, we're supposed to do something all the time. We got to unpack the house. We got to bring the stuff in and unpack the house. What do you mean? And he seen that I was kind of confused. And he was like, Mom, all this don't have to get done today. And I was like, you know what, son, you're right. Hold on. I put my work ethic on there. I didn't even know I was working them jokers that hard. My little one, he just quits anyway. He don't care. He just quit. My little one, he don't care. He's going to do what he wants to do. He's going to do what I tell him to do. He's going to do exactly what I told him to do and not do at the same time. He learned how to combine that. Like, he can combine those things to make it work in his favor, that I just take him off the job and fire him because he's making me mad. So he does his job well. But my son had to tell me, like, listen. And I thought about it, like, you know what? I do too much, and it's no reason that I should be expecting them to work like I work. I'm the one over here acting like I'm on some and just going. Just going. No! I don't even do drugs, but still, I be going. So those are the things that my checks and balances come from my children, and they will check me and balance me out in a loving way because I taught them to be that way. But you know, when I think about it, I'm like, you know, I put them through so much. You know, we moved around because promotion. I would find another job, get promoted, and it's like, all right, guys. And I would talk to them, and it still wasn't like I was giving them an option. I'll talk to them and let them know, hey, what I want to do, and then it's not like I was giving them an option, you know, saying like, hey, do y'all want to move or whatever. I just say, hey, it's going to make us some more money, and that, because I always looked at I need to make more money, sacrificing my kids pretty much, because this is how I looked at money. I got to get another job, get more money so I can take care of my kids and take care of other people if anybody needed it. If my family ever needed, somebody needed, I have extra. That's how I live my life. And a lot of people don't understand that. They always had something to say, like, well, oh, she about to move here, you know, she about to move there. But they don't understand that that's where my mindset was, to make money to take care of the family. So even moving from my other home, and I bought this home, it was more land, and I'm like, okay, I'll always have enough room for my family. I can, you know, do a garden. We'll always eat. We'll always have. We'll always blah 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 blah. Until now that I'm sitting in this place with all this land, and I'm like, yeah. Screw them people. Once my youngest graduate, I'm going to sell this and go get something that's more suitable just for me. I don't need all this. I did all this because if I ever got to take care of a family member, if they need somewhere to stay or they got to go somewhere, they'll always have a place here. That's how I looked at it, you know. So, yeah, but the heel version of me is looking at all this like, yeah, I mean, it's, it's cute. So, until then, I'm still going to make the best of it because, as long as I can do my father's business, I just told him to allow me to use this to do his business. So, whatever. And then you never know. I can have more kids. I can get married and he can have some kids. Or whatever the case may be. So you just never know, you know, what was the purpose of all of this. Because I'm like, God, this is I think I bit off more than I could chew. Because taking care of it is a lot. But, I mean, we get it done. We maintain it because a lot of it has not been chopped down. So, a lot of it is still woods. So, that's the thing that's saving me of maintaining the land because I don't have to cut that piece, the property. But, yeah, child, it's a lot. So, you know, once he bring in my husband, you know, that'll be his job. He'll be excited about it. The only problem is he just got to... My oldest has to relinquish his rights to, I mean, he don't want nobody cutting the grass. He don't want nobody touching his lawnmower. And right now his lawnmower is down and he's feeling a type of way. But I ordered a part to it and he's going to put it on. But I need to flip it over first to see if it's going to fit. Now, my son is a little man and I allow him to do things. However, I'm still a supervisor over him. And so I'll watch him. I'll let him take it apart and I'll let him do things. But I still watch him because of the fact, guidance. Now, I thank God for my father because I'm able to watch him and guide. I'm able to watch my son and guide my son when he's fixing mechanical things, when he's doing stuff with the car. Even if he's just taking the battery out, I know how to do these things. So with this pulley that we pulled off, he pulled off. And that's why I'm so proud of him. I was in the kitchen and he come in the house. I got a 3-tier toolbox on wheels and he come in the house grabbing the toolbox. You know, my first thing is like, yo, why you touching my tools? I don't let nobody touch my tools. And so, you know, for Mother's Day, they don't buy me like cute little stuff. They buy me like tools. They buy me gardening tools or any kind of tools. That's the type of stuff I like. So anyway. Like, yo, why you buying my stuff? Why you touching my stuff? He was like, man, the lawnmower stopped cutting. I was like, uh-oh, there we go. And immediately I went in mommy mode, but then I had to step back because he's becoming a man. And I was like, okay, well, what happened? The fact that he identified the problem, this is what made me proud, and I know I did right by him, and I taught him right, is he identified the problem. It's no more of running to me saying, Mom, it's broke. No. And I'm so proud of him. He identified the problem. He took it apart to try and put the belt back through, but it still wouldn't go. So the fact that he identified the problem and he knew what he apart to try and put the belt back through, but it still wouldn't go. So the fact that he identified the problem and he knew what he needed to do, and I was so proud of him in that moment. So then we went out there. And then I'm like, all right, I'll let him have it. But then I talked to my homeboy, the one that keep me balanced, that God sends to keep me balanced. He came through and they looked at it. And I'm not going to lie, I love that dude to death. I love him to death. But listen, when it comes to men touching anything, I always supervise and watch. Because men just go in, they know they need to take it apart, and they take it apart. And then when it's time to put it back together, it takes them 20 hours to put it back together. And how I taught my son is slow down. Don't be so quick to take it apart and throw it apart to the side because then you won't remember how. So he was gently doing it and understanding those things. But my homeboy, he come in, he like, boom, that joker, he taking it apart. So I was like, all right. But anyway, so him and my son, they figured out what part it was. They ordered it. My son ordered it and it's here. However, just eyeballing it, I see that it's a little too big, but tomorrow I think I'm going to go live with you guys because it may be some ladies out there that need to fix their lawnmower. I'm going to teach y'all how to fix your lawnmower. I may go live and flip the thing up and try and put it on here. I might. Okay. But anyhow, I'm about to get off here because my son is cooking some what is it called? Loose meat cheeseburgers. And I'm gonna eat. And I'm gonna hang out with them for a bit. I thank you guys for coming on, hanging out with me. As always, I want you to pour into yourself before you pour into others. And remember, your cup, God will make your cup overflow, okay? You're in that season, let it overflow. And do not take the overflow running to everybody talking about some girl, we going shopping. Girl, let's go to lunch. Girl, let's do this. Girl, let's do that. No. Oh, thank you, Latrice. And no, we're not doing any of that. You're going to be the storehouse that God has appointed you to be for people to come to you so you can help them in this time. Because in this time, we're on two different timelines. The timeline that we are on, the ones that have healed and went through the process to become the better person, better version of themselves and operating their purpose. That timeline is the ones that's going to be the storehouse. Then you have the timeline that everybody's still attached to the material world, looking when their next dollar gonna be. I need a job and I need this. I'm freaking out, and they're going on all this stuff. That's the timeline that is that's not of us. I know nothing about that world. I know not, even though it's on the news, it's everywhere. I know nothing about that world. I know nothing about it. Like, it's just so here, and I'm so here. So back then, I was here while everybody was making money, and they was up here. See, the last and the first, now the first and the last. We're so busy with our Father's business that we don't even know what's going on over there. I don't even care what's going on over there. I'm not trying to figure out. I'm not trying to hang out. I ain't trying to go to nobody's party. I ain't trying to be in the clique with nobody. They don't want nothing to do with me, but if God tell me to be in your life, then I'll be in your life. I just want to tell you that the only reason I'm here because God told me to be here. Do you understand it? I'm your covering. Slow, knock, knock. Hello. I'm only here because he told me to be here. I'm your covering because knock, knock, without me covering you, because I am anointed. If not, without me covering you, where would you be? Knock, knock. I am her. But anyway, I love to joke and have a good time. You guys will see more of me more often. But like I said, I have been busy. So from that documentary, I was asked to be on something else because they enjoyed my story. And so you guys will probably be seeing me a lot of different places and a lot of different types of platforms and things like that. So collaboration season for me has been going amazing. If you guys want me in certain places of where you live at, if you want to do a class, whatever it is that you want to do, you guys can book me. And I can do group sessions even on Zoom. I can do whatever it is. You have to do a consultation with me to make sure that I can cover it down to see what it is that you need done, and then I can do that. I'm also doing life coaching. It's still the same. The 30 minutes is still free. The first session with me is totally free. And the consultations are free because if you need something and I can't help you with it, I'm going to refer you out. I'm not going to be here to be taking nobody's money. So reach out to me and let me know what it is that you guys need. I'm in the process of finishing up the gym, moving pieces around. I got a lot of moving pieces going on, and my son's graduation and his graduation party. So your girl is tapped out and busy, booked and busy, baby. But I am never too busy to do my job, which is to make sure that I am helping you guys get to the next level of your life, right? And to operate in your purpose. So if you haven't got your book, get your book to Trinity Walk to Self-Love. I do believe my timeline, unless God have something else coming up, my timeline before July, the workbook will be ready for publishing and put out. So get that. I love you guys. I want you guys to have a good night. And I am proud of you. And you guys continue to follow and share, okay? Coach Nye out. Bye. Oh, girl. I did get 50K. Thank you. Look, my clicker, I put it on like 99 and let it go. And then when I take it off, it's like, you got 100. And I'm like, yo, it's 99 in a couple of seconds. How did I only get 100? Mine's is bootleg. I need to get another one. Good night, y'all. Love you. Bye. girl. Yeah, that's a lot of typing. I need to learn how to start engaging more like that. Yeah. All right. Bye.